That I'm actually really ashamed of that. I'm a hardcore Nintendo fan. Haven't beaten Odyssey yet.
I don't think Odyssey's a super good game, to be honest.
What?
Like, well, I think it's a great game, but I don't think it's like it's. The problem I've had with that and with a lot of and like it's kind of the same problem as that what I had with Super Mario Galaxy. Like, it just seems kind of boring, and like a lot of the ideas don't seem fully fleshed out.
Odyssey's a lot different from Galaxy.
I feel like the main thing is like I like Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World way better than those games, just because I feel like they're way more satisfying to play because it's a lot more linear and you get a sense of, oh yeah, I'm doing things that are different each time. I don't have to keep retracing my steps.
I'm not a big fan of the whole linear game experience. That's why I love Breath of the Wild. One of my favorite Zelda games. If it had better story, it would probably be my favorite Zelda game. But its story is absolute trash. So that's why my favorite Zelda game is Majora's Mask, which I think has the best story out of any Zelda game by far. But I love games that don't have structure, are very non-linear, and you can just work at your own pace. I like those games a lot. The game I told you about earlier is completely non-linear. Which I like a lot. Odyssey is probably the least linear of any Mario game to date, except for maybe 64.
I feel like that's great when you have the ability to just go around and do whatever you want. But at the same time, you need to have stuff to do rather than just walking around. And I just feel like it's so hard.
The thing to do in Odyssey is to collect moons.
Well, yeah, but then, like, it's like, oh, I have to do this thing, and there's nothing, like...
You don't have to collect moons. I mean, you do, but you don't have to go out of your way.
Yeah, if you do if you don't want to collect moons, there's nothing left to do, and I just feel like...
Well, yeah, there's nothing like, if you don't like collecting moons, then play through the game, beat all the levels, you're done. Don't touch it again. That's your game experience. But if you do like collecting moons, then go back, collect all the moons, then you're done. Yeah. Mario is one of those games that... Like, once you beat it, if you don't like collecting things, you're done. And if you do like collecting things, once you have collected everything, you're done.
Right, but I mean, like, collecting simply enough moons to go to the next world can sometimes be really strenuous. And, like,
Well, a lot of the time when I have played Odyssey, I get the moons that I need to go to the next level just through playing through the level. And then I try to get all the moons in the area before I leave. But I'm not very good at finding moons.
You know what just occurred to me? We're doing the podcast.
Yeah, I thought that a while ago. I just didn't say anything. So, my political view, I agree with a lot of sort of the concepts of conservativeness-ism, whatever you want to call it. Conservatism. And I, like, watch hardcore conservatives talk about it, and I'm just like, whoa. Like, you could go about this much differently. Like, I agree with the premise, but the execution, I feel, from a lot of conservatives is just bad.
Like, anytime you go to the extreme on either side, it's just like, I understand sort of how you got there, but at the same time, what the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah. It's just, yeah. I mean, I don't know how to classify my political beliefs, but I'd say sort of further right than Isaiah, but definitely not closer to the center than I am to full right.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because, like, I believe in being closer to the center in general. Like, I would say, because essentially conservative means saving money and liberal means spending money.
Yeah.
And I like when you break it down like that to what it simply is. There is no reason why you should choose one side over the other at all. It's just a matter of like, right now, do we need to do this or that? You know?
With the actual definition of conservative and liberal, of course you would say you want to be in the middle, but of course also in our society it's much more than just that. Right now, a lot of the problems we have with capitalist society is remnant of how we used to run our country, and like people whose ancestors were in bad situations are having a really hard time getting out of those situations, not because they're being discriminated against in like the market, because they're like in that situation. Like, Okay, so let's say you have a city, and everyone in the city was black in the 1900s, like early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
So of course the city was super poor, and horrible schools, horrible everything. Now it's the 2000s. It's still majority black. I don't think it's because the people are black that they're not doing well and they're being discriminated against. I feel like because a long time ago this city was terrible, super poor, like the people in that city, the only options they have are terrible schools, terrible supermarkets, gang mentality that was never fixed, that sort of thing. I just feel like we could do world's better job of fixing what our country was in the early and mid 1900s, and I feel like we haven't taken enough strides to actually go into these places and make them better and give them the actual opportunities so that everyone is in the same situation and there's no, I feel like the lottery of being born isn't what skin and gender you are, it's where were you born.
I agree with a lot of that too. Like it's definitely, it's nothing, no, there's hardly any discrimination that ever, tangibly happens where someone is consciously, actively saying, I don't like this type of people, so I'm going to try to keep them from becoming great.
Yeah.
It's usually just a societal, well, let's just pretend this problem doesn't exist. And, because there are still, some, old laws in effect that make the system more difficult, innately. But at the same time, yeah, it's about we need to be more open to giving opportunities to people.
Yeah. And, an example of the laws that are still in place that this is one of my examples, it doesn't just discriminate against black people, per se, but, property tax laws. The places that were super low value, terrible schools, because of property tax laws, they're still in that situation. It's not because anything to do with race, gender, whatever you look like, or anything like that. It's just the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing that I think is a huge problem for us is that a lot of government and people are tackling it okay, we still have systematic racism and oppression, so let's give money and opportunities to minorities, instead of saying, okay, we still have really poor communities that can't get out of that situation. Let's go into those communities and fix it. And because of that, opportunities are being given to minorities that aren't being given to majorities. And that's just back to discrimination.
It basically, there was a show, I think it's called Who's America or something like that, and this guy,
Not America.
he was a very good speaker, and he manipulated a bunch of right-wing politicians into advocating for this program that was giving young children, kindergartners, preschoolers, elementary kids, guns to learn how to use them and protect them against school shooters. And the program was called Kindergarten.
What? No.
And they actually totally, of their own will, endorsed this product.
Oh my gosh, that's so stupid.
And the slogan was, the slogan is the best way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good kid with a gun. We could just do a thing where it's where I've always thought when it comes to oh, now you're old enough to finally do this thing. If you want to prevent damage from that thing suddenly being that privilege suddenly being given to people, an easy way to take care of that is periodically they have to go and renew that license. I thought with drugs like marijuana or tobacco or anything, you should have to get a license for it, which means every couple of months, every 2 months or something like that, you have to see a therapist for just one session to make sure everything's in order.
Because that would be great. I'm not gonna try and pretend I know all the stats on marijuana or I know everything about it. I could try to make an argument about it, but a lot of what I would say would probably be ill-informed, maybe not true. So I honestly don't know how bad marijuana. I hear from sources that marijuana smoke is worse for your lungs and your brain because of worse chemicals in it. And then I hear from sources that it's barely even harmful at all. And I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, it'd be safe to do what you said. Therapist.
Because with marijuana, I would say it's less dangerous than tobacco, and it's about as dangerous as alcohol, except you're not going to get out and drive a car if you're high. But, like, I feel like, because it's like, with tobacco, the reason why marijuana smoke is more potent, but you have, like, one blunt a day at most, maybe one every 2 days.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And with tobacco, you could have up to 20 in a day.
Like, with marijuana smokers, you get high, like, once a day, and that only takes, like, one blunt. But with tobacco smokers, anytime you don't have your cigs on you, you get withdrawals, and you feel really bad.
Yeah.
So I feel, that's a really good point, actually. That's a really good point.
And, like, because that's why if you're smoking marijuana, you don't really have as much of a danger for lung cancer. It's more of a danger of, like, irreparable brain damage.
Yeah.
But that's
the main thing I've heard. It's less about your lungs, more about your brain for marijuana. Which, I mean, your brain is pretty important. So, definitely needs regulation. And the fact that tobacco is legal, but marijuana is not. I don't think that...
It's goofy.
It is goofy. It's really weird. I wish there was a way for us to just eradicate all these things, marijuana and tobacco from existence, because there's literally basically...
I wish there was world peace and a perfect world.
Exactly. You can't. So you have... It's like, for online health, I had to choose a drug to do a report on. I chose heroin, because I was like, hey, I don't really know much about heroin. So I researched a lot about heroin. I am now a heroin addict. But
speaking of good authors, let's talk about J.K. Rowling.
Stop.
Okay. I love how it's like
can't talk about how good Harry Potter is too much, but
yeah, I love how it's like she's an excellent writer and she made one of the best book series of all time, and she didn't do it by accident. She's just consistently a great writer and a great imaginator. But then when it comes to the things she says on Twitter and politically, she's it's like you're watching like a saint that's over 100 years old turn into a child.
Like, I didn't want to say it because I didn't know if you were like some holy worshiper of J.K. Rowling's personality. But I was just like thinking, yeah, J.K. Rowling, great author, but when it comes to actually being J.K. Rowling, it's just like. It's sort of in the case if, like, Nelson Mandela and Winnie Mandela were the same person.
The thing is, we probably don't even know enough about Winnie Mandela anymore to say that. Because we did a lot of research on this in Mandela.
She killed a lot of people. She killed a lot of people.
She did?
Yes.
Well, I mean, then it's easy to compare her to J.K. Rowling, because, J.K. Rowling... spoiler alert, Sirius Dumbledore.
No.
She killed a lot of people.
I was saying in the sense like Nelson Mandela, this amazing person, great worker of peace in South Africa. His wife.
Kind of overrated.
His wife, you'd expect to be great too. When he was in jail, kind of went psycho, killed a lot of people. So it's just like, if those were the same person, like you wouldn't expect.
That's the thing. If you look at any great person in history, like I'll ruin Gandhi for you.
Gandhi was ruined for me a long time ago.
For those of you who don't know,
Gandhi
he was a pervert and he tried to sleep with his niece.
Gandhi was. Yeah, it's exactly like Gandhi actually. Forget the whole. J.K. Rowling is Gandhi. Drop them.
Like, the thing that's great about the Harry Potter series is it's like a child can read it and love it for being like, oh yeah, it's a great plot. But an adult can read it and love it for being a great story, you know?
My main gripe with the Harry Potter series, and this might just me being a fanboy and getting really sad about it, but J.K. Rowling killed so many people. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing. The whole series in the last book, in the end, it's just kind of all been about death and about, like, sacrifice.
Yeah, but it's insane how many people she kills. Like, what really put it over the top for me is when she killed Sirius. Sirius is my favorite character by far. I loved Sirius, and Sirius was also Harry's last even closeness to family.
Well, yeah.
And she killed him.
Because it's...
She killed Snape too, and then she killed Dumbledore. She killed all of Harry's even remotely close to being family.
She didn't kill McGonagall. But she did die of old age right after the series. No, like...
That just... It's just... Wow. She had to take everything away from Harry.
Well, it's the hero's journey. Like, it's all about Harry. Like, the reason Harry can beat Voldemort is because he's Harry. Not because he's Harry with the help of Ron and Hermione, but because he's Harry and, like, he needs to shave. No, like, just who he is. And, like, that's why, like, in the third book and onwards, she just starts, like, nailing in this whole thing of isolation and him being on his own and having to do things on his own and separating himself from everyone else. So that in the end, he can face Voldemort alone and be the one.
Especially, like, in the Goblet of Fire, when it even goes so far to be, like,
Credit dies.
Like, that's Harry's book. I feel like that was the first book where it was really just like, that's Harry's book. That's not Ron's book. That's not Hermione's book. That's Harry's book.
I feel like The Prisoner of Azkaban was like the transition where it's almost Harry's book.
And then The Goblet of Fire was just like, that's Harry's book.
And then the movie was like, actually, it's the book about teen drama. Also, by the way, anyone who got offended by me saying Krennic instead of Cedric, I know how it's pronounced. But as a kid, I actually thought it was Krennic, and I thought he was the bad guy. Because I only knew that because from the Lego video game, I got Cedric and Victor mixed up, like Victor Crumb.
Neither of those people were bad guys.
Well, when he was under the Imperious Curse in the maze, I thought he was the bad guy. So I thought Krennic was the bad guy the whole time, and that's like, like in whenever I thought about the Harry Potter series, I just thought about like, oh, it's Harry facing his nemesis, Krennic. Remember in 5th grade when we started writing our Harry Potter fan fictions? Not as bad as it sounds.
Okay, yeah, like, that's the thing. Everyone's always just like, oh, you write fan fiction. It's not like a fan fiction. It's like, I mean, by definition, it's a fan fiction. It's, by definition, it's a fan fiction, but it's like basically just a completely different story just in that world.
His began 19 years later. Mine began 24 years later. And it was about new kids going to Hogwarts. Excuse me. So,
if I rewrote that, I didn't even finish it, but if I rewrote that from the beginning,
so different.
It'd be so different.
Mine too. Like I think I made a pretty good story, but like basically his bad guy's name was Molly Heelan because he's trying to get all Latin up at like J.K. Rowling, except he forgot that you need to make a good name.
My protagonist was named Jake. I used to really like that name, but
oh yeah, and you named him.
The whole trope with Ivan.
Yeah,
was terrible. That was the worst.
We need to explain.
Worst attempt at comedy in my life.
Yes. Like, so basically,
that was horrible. Like, his uncle.
Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil.
Like
Uncle Phil, I loved Uncle Phil. He was a great character.
We had this ongoing
real
joke.
Good character.
We had this
real
ongoing
best character in the entire series, except for maybe what was his name? Start with an F. Fritz. Yeah, Fritz. Fritz Skyke.
Fritz Skyke.
Yes, I love Fritz.
Oh yeah, no. So what I was gonna say was with Uncle Philp. It was an ongoing joke that Coulson had just made up about his Uncle Philp being a weird guy, and then he made him into the story. Yeah. And then like the whole idea was Professor Flitwick didn't like Uncle Philp because Uncle Philp trapped him in a closet one time.
It was more than that. Like I had this whole thing where Uncle Philp was okay. So, Jake was apparently a Muggle, and he was like the whole story.
Oh no! The one thing that was funny was him eating the food powder.
Yeah, that was the funniest moment of the beginning of the book, and it was still not that funny. But it was just so funny because like it was like a little bit funny, but it was so cringy that it made it a lot more funny. If you know what I'm saying. But anyway, the whole premise of
that's my YouTube channel.
Jake's origin. Like I said, I used to really like that name, but then a certain person came to the spotlight, and now I don't. So Jake, his whole origin was that there was this fifth founder, and he kept his bloodline. That whole family kept their bloodline completely pure.
we didn't explain the Ivan thing. Flitwick basically hated Jake because of his uncle, so he called him Ivan for some stupid arbitrary reason.
Well, it was because his last name is Ivory, and I thought, oh, it's cool because Ivan's like close to Ivory, and this is like, it was terrible. It was the worst thing ever. His last name, Jake's. Well, the reason I made Jake's last name Ivory is because one, I think that's pretty cool, and two, he has a strong connection to animals. He was going to be an animagus. I didn't get that far, but he was going to be an animagus. Anyway, so his whole origin was that this fifth founder, I don't remember his name. He had a cool name. It started with M. But
I don't remember either.
Yeah, he kept his family kept his bloodline 100% pure. And then Malahelam, the villain, heard a prophecy about how.
Oh, you didn't steal that from anywhere.
Oh my gosh! I just realized. I wasn't thinking. Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! It's the exact same.
You accidentally copied Voldemort.
It's literally.
To be fair, I did too.
It's literally the exact same. I wasn't even thinking that when I made it.
No,
wait. Anyway, I'm gonna explain how I copied Voldemort exactly and did not even realize it. So Malahelam heard this prophecy about how if all
about the chosen one coming to defeat him.
No, it's different. If all the houses unite, then he would be able. Then pure evil would be eradicated, and of course he is pure evil. And so he went around and killed everyone that was related to the 4 founders, but he didn't know about the 5th founder.
Didn't he die, like in the 3rd book or something like that, or in my book or something like that?
Yeah, in your book he did. And
right,
he was taken over by. Oh yeah, and in my book, Scorpius was the biggest d-bag you've ever met in your life.
No, he was actually pure evil. Like,
yes.
So then my story was sort of a continuation that began in the 5th year of his character. So his character's 5th year. My character was in their 1st year. My character's name was Max Ironwood, and I think it was Max.
It was Max. I know it was Max.
Because I wanted to make just the most generic protagonist. This was before any of us had any idea what good characters were like.
So yeah, and you did this whole thing with mirrors that I didn't really know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was this.
Yeah, like that was the one thing that I'm actually kind of proud about how I set that up, because it was like one of those, like the pattern that keeps cropping.
Yeah, like you did this whole thing with mirrors, and I was just like, whoa. That is not at all what I intended to be the story
at some point,
of my book.
At some point, well, because like his 5th book was about the 5th founder, because it's the 5th book, obviously.
Yeah.
It's about, well, because they didn't know that there was a 5th founder before that book, and that was supposed to be the book where they found out about it. That's what you told me.
Yeah.
And so the idea is, like, although Jake and Max are best friends from the start, about halfway through the year, like, well, Max has, like, a bunch of other friends, and Jake is starting to become more distant, and, like, Max sees him, like, leaving the Gryffindor common room, holding, like, a mirror, and he's like, well, where are you going with that mirror? And he gets to the point where he's carrying, like, a full-body mirror with him out of the Gryffindor common room, and he finds out that he's been going to the room of requirement where the mirror of Erised is there, and, like, apparently...
I mean, yeah, that's a cool story, but, like, the reason I was upset was just because, like, that completely conflicted with the story that I had set up in my head. I had this cool thing in my book. It was basically the Triwizard Tournament, but it wasn't the Triwizard Tournament. And it was like...
I remember it now.
It was called the Dodecagonal, because there...
12 events.
No, there were not 12 events, but...
But that's Dodec, right?
It's because... Okay, I don't remember the reason, but there was definitely a reason, and it was like a big reason, and it was cool, but I don't remember what. So it definitely had something to do with 12. It would be stupid if it did not. So it started out with a race, and Jake had detention from Flitwick. This is one of my favorite parts of the book, actually. Jake had detention from Flitwick, but he had learned a new spell, and so Flitwick was leaving because he had got called by McGonagall to do something, and he said he'll be right back. Stay there, Jake. And Jake was just like, you know what? I'm signed up for this race, and this race is gonna be like big for me, so I can't miss it.
The biggest race.
It's gonna be huge.
Thank you, Kanye. Very cool.
So I can't miss this race. So he breaks the window in Flitwick's office. And
wait, he breaks the window?
Yeah.
Does he use Defendo or just smash the window?
He might have used Bombarda.
Part of the first year know that spell.
There's a lot of things that Jake should not know. Like, he created his own spell, and that's...
In the first book?
Yes.
What? He's a genius.
He used it to save one of the Quidditch people from death. Oh, it was James. It was James here. He was James Potter. He saved him from death.
James, who's the third, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, no. It was second or third.
I think it was third, because I'm pretty sure in my book he was going away, and he gave this stupid speech or something.
Yeah, and James had this weird thing where his hair always had to be messy, and it was, like, really bad if it was not messy, which was weird. So anyway, back to the race. So Jake had learned this new spell that I made up, called Spongify. And it was meant to be a curse. It was meant to be a curse, but...
It makes someone extremely porous.
No, it was meant to be a jinx. Not a curse, jinx. Spell classification. It was meant to be a jinx, and what it did is it turned your legs to sponge. To, like, the consistency of a sponge. So he cast it on himself, jumped out the window, and of course he was fine. And he cast the counter spell, and he ran as fast as he could to the race. When he got there, they had already started. And McGonagall, like Dumbledore, such a copier of the actual series, gave Jake the pass and to get in the race. And Jake was like, I'm screwed. I'm gonna lose. Why am I even trying? So he was running, and all of a sudden...
Oh, it's like a cross-country race?
A race where you can use magic to win.
Oh.
But not apparition. Apparate. You can't apparate.
Welcome back to the Ink Shield podcast. Today, we have a very special guest.
Why aren't you wearing socks?
What?
Why are you not wearing socks?
Here's a little something for you guys at home.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
We're gonna edit that out. See, I would be a streamer, but everyone wants to be a streamer. Like, think back, because since Fortnite blew up, people in their streamers, people actually use Twitch now, because Twitch, no one used it. I mean, people did use it.
People started using it, and like, because apparently, like, you heard about it in 2014, you're like, what's that? And a lot of people used it, but it wasn't very big at all. And then 2017, it was like, going up.
Going up.
Now hey, YouTube, take us on. And YouTube was like, nah, man, we're bleeding over here.
I mean, we have a lot of angry content creators.
Essentially, 2017 was the year YouTube was diagnosed with cancer.
I mean, yeah.
And like, it was just waiting to see if the cancer takes it.
Well, I mean, YouTube in 2017, the rewind was not reflective of the year at all.
It was the first time I watched YouTube rewind. It was like, that sucked.
Like, the rewind has been going like downhill, but like it was never been that bad before. See, one thing I like to do, I don't know why, I've recently started doing this, but like, if you say something completely stupid, I will block you. Like, I mean, there's some things I will allow, like, if you say something stupid, but it comes from a place where, I can actually see where you're coming from. But if you say something completely stupid and I have no idea where you're coming from, you're getting blocked.
Can you give me an example, or?
Okay, so there's this artist. His name is Russ. He's I don't like him at all. But, like, people who, so basically what happened was, a person died, he overdosed, but he didn't overdose on his own terms. Someone put something on his drug, but drug addiction problem. It's an epidemic. It's bad. Don't do drugs.
But hey, kids, you should try cocaine. Don't. Cocaine. That'll turn your brain into soup.
But Russ, he did the same thing. He didn't overdose, though. He still had the same problems. But he had the audacity to judge the other person, and people who like agree with him and like see like, oh, it's his own fault, but like he had the same problem. So like, This sucks.
Well, I mean, at least the reaction to it. It wasn't as bad as Avicii, because Avicii died on April 20th, so everyone was like, oh, he died at 420, yeah! And like, they're like partying, and it was like, because I don't put much stock into stuff like, tradition and reverence and stuff like that, but I mean, if you're gonna if you're gonna be that way about like I probably uploaded some of those memes, but like if you're gonna be that way about like a person's death, like
Yeah, there's
that's
like
just not
some
really cool.
there's some line that you have to like not cross. Like, see, like making jokes about like the circumstances of the death, I understand, but actually making fun of the death, that's not okay.
Or at least not for us. Like that's stuff that we don't appreciate. Like if you and you can do it like privately in a way that like, oh, no one is going to be hurt at all. Like in the same thing.
Exactly. If you don't like actually genuinely believe that they deserve that, then that's fine. If you don't make it seem like
I'm just imagining a meme where it's like it says it's like someone died. Like for instance, I don't know.
Demi Lovato.
What if like if something that just said, if like if someone took a meme that said a headline where it was like Demi Lovato pronounced dead at 2 a.m. this morning, like, and then it's just like in giant letters beneath it just says good.
That's not funny. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
I'm laughing at the concept, but not at actually.
I know. I'm not laughing at that still.
Like, cause like with me with jokes in general, and this is where like, when stuff comes up about offensive words and offensive language, and people will be like, "Oh, you should be able to say it no matter what," or other people will be like, "You should never be able to say it." My opinion.
I don't like. I see. When it comes to stuff like that, oh, actually, I'm gonna say what you just say. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
It's alright. So, what is I always say what I was going to say. No, I was going to say that I actually forget. No, I'm actually
let me
losing
talk.
it. Yeah, just stop. Wait, so Isaiah, what was that thing you're gonna say?
Oh, well, I was gonna say I hate like situations like that.
Oh crap! Is it too low?
It's probably too low.
I'm upset. All right, that's fine.
I hate situations like that because it's just like it's a conflict of logic. Because on one side, it's like, oh, everyone should be able to say it because you know how you say like a word a bunch of times and lose its meaning. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. On the other hand, it's just like the offense, like the offense, the way people take it and how offended they get about that, and then it's just like,
All right.
it sucks.
See, for example, think about the word murder. Like, that doesn't really mean anything to anyone. Like, if you think about someone being murdered, being brutally stabbed to death in the streets for their money, it's like awful. But when you just hear the word murder, it's like there were last year there were
776
murders in this city.
babies born.
There's 776 babies murdered. Now change.
Wait.
No.
Don't combine this now.
There's 776 murders in the city, and you're like, that's just normal, you know? But if you change it to murdering babies, suddenly, I can't let my kids hear that. They'll be scarred.
I can't live with this.
See, what the thing that I was going to say was that when it comes to offensive humor, my philosophy is everyone should be allowed to tell whatever jokes they want, no matter the circumstances, and everyone should be allowed to get offended by whatever they get offended by.
And that is like the greatest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to use that.
And if a joke you says offends someone, don't tell that joke around that person. If someone tells a joke that offends you, let them know. Be assertive. Be polite and understanding, and expect that they will not tell that joke in front of you, but don't expect that they won't ever say it in front of anyone else.
Did you hear that gaming is now a disease?
Oh yeah,
mental.
The World Health Organization published a thing where they called it gaming addiction, and several psychologists and psychiatrists spoke out from around the world, being like, you realize we don't have enough research to confirm something like this. This is a premature conclusion. It's not scientific, for one thing, and two, it's fear-mongering, blatant fear-mongering.
I mean, yeah. See, I kind of agree, but it's just an addiction. Everyone has addictions. To a certain extent, someone could be addicted to gardening, and that's not a mental illness.
They crawl out of bed at 4 a.m. just like, I have to garden.
I have to farm.
And, they get out the hose, they turn it on, and someone comes up to them and they're like,
you have to stop.
No, they're like, ma'am, or sir, I can't tell which one you are for one. No,
Okay.
you realize your water bill is like gone, and they're like, and they get sent to
the garden.
Because like that's the thing. Like I've agreed with that. Like I had this conversation with my parents because like one time at a restaurant, and I always thought, why is it that being addicted to drugs is perfectly fine, but being addicted to loving other...
That's not perfectly fine.
That's not... That's not what I meant to say. Why is being addicted to drugs bad, but being addicted to loving other people perfectly fine? And like, the answer is because naturally we're chemically composed to be social and to interact with other people, and that's healthy, and that helps us grow. And an addiction is when you replace your dependency on other people with dependency on an object. And like, you can do that with anything. You can do it with drugs, you can do it with listening to music, you can do it with playing music, you can do it with video games, being on the computer, you can do it with anything.
But like, drugs is really bad. It's
Yeah,
like a
drugs
last resort.
Drugs is gonna kill you sooner.
That's like a last resort. I don't like how people call us millennials. Like,
we're Generation Z, get it right.
Get it right, we're millennials.
Because like while like the whole thing about like bringing up a kid the wrong way and telling them that, oh, you're special, you're meant for great things.
That's
that doesn't
the downfall of like the millennial generation.
Yeah, like a lot of the new generations. That has been a huge problem, like spoiling kids. Yes, but don't blame it on the freaking kids. They couldn't help it. That's just how they grew.
That's how they were raised.
You should, if anything, blame it on the parents. Like, don't say, oh, all these problems millennials are causing. Say, man, these baby boomer parents really sucked. Coulson is actually an illegal immigrant because he does not have an American birth certificate. So
Does it?
I actually don't know, but
You
should investigate that.
Because when you think about Democrats, people say, "Oh, Martin Luther King, let's go, yay!" And then, because like, "Oh, are you against Martin Luther King?"
You know how there's like this whole argument about like everything Donald Trump does is calculated to like make his master plan come to fruition?
It's not. He just does what he wants. And he hopes for the best.
He's a narcissistic sociopath, which means
I see right through that. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Two, that means he lives entirely in the present. He lives for nothing else besides succeeding in the moment. If he loses the battle later on, he doesn't care as long as he's winning now. And that's the way the sociopath thinks.
The thing is, Donald Trump, he is so hilarious to me. Oh my gosh, because like he flat out tells countries, like he says it in like,
we don't like you. You're evil.
Like, he's not afraid to wipe a country off the face of this earth, and the only reason why he can say that is because really he would say we can do whatever we want. I mean, practically,
America first.
The only country that could keep us in check is Russia.
Do you want something to eat?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, let's just eat during the podcast. Hold on.
Yes,
keep them busy.
I will
No. What do you want? I'll get it for you, and you just talk to
any
me.
food. I don't care.
And I swear, don't do the thing Braden does, where he says bad stuff in front of the camera while I'm talking.
I'm not.
I'll just take care of that.
I don't.
Just play them some stuff. And
I don't want to play. I want to talk. All right. You can go. Give me any food, but make sure it's not cheese.
Okay, I'll get you like a peanut butter sandwich.
That's fine. I don't like cheese. I mean, I do like cheese.
Do you want a beverage?
Any beverage. That's fine.
Alright.
That's the only thing I would say. I mean, cheese is good. But, I mean, I ate cheese too much in, like, 6th grade, so it's just like, cheese. It's nasty. But, like, when you have, like, a burger and you have cheese, that's delicious. Absolutely delicious. You know, high school's cool, though. I mean, I guess. It's weird going on to like a new high school where you don't have like all of your friends, but I mean I still have some of my friends going to the high school I'm going to. But like the majority of my friends I've like spent like gaining friends and like knowing them for like 8 years. Just have to live all that. I mean I'll still keep in touch, but like it's still kind of hard to go to. But you know, it really doesn't matter at all. Cause in reality, oh lord, I messed that up. Messed up. But like when it comes down to it, like when it comes to like college and stuff, it's not gonna matter at all. We're real probably gonna see each other. But you know, we'll keep in touch. I need a pet penguin. That's what I'm gonna get. When I'm older, I'm gonna get a pet penguin, and no one can stop me. I'll have like a whole entire room dedicated to my penguin. It's just gonna be straight cold ice, like a what's that one? Like a Chorus Light commercial, like where it's just all mountains and stuff. It's ice. I like penguins. Penguins are my favorite animal. Cause they're just so like amazing. Penguins are like peak perfection of animals. They're just so furry, and like they communicate. And even though if you don't speak penguin, you can still understand what they're saying. And like, penguins, they're like the most relatable things on the planet. Even more so than people sometimes. It's really nice. I don't know why he has this. I don't know what this stuff is supposed to be. Oh, he has a DS in here. Oh, that's interesting. This is like way too small. I haven't seen a bag this small in like ages. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, if any of you have Steam, add me at iAdeRoller. That's my name for everything. So like, if you have something and you need a friend, just look up iAdeRoller. I'm probably gonna be there. I hate root beer. Why do you have root beer? I'll still drink it.
Alright.
But like, I hate root beer.
Also, the other thing is, so we're gonna order some pizza. What do you like in your pizza?
I don't care. It doesn't matter what pizza. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Anything like there's not a lot of stuff I'm really picky about. Except for root beer. I don't like root beer. I'm still gonna drink it. It's fine.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Gross. We're not gonna eat that. You want us to take this out of the video?
It's fine.
It's fine as long as I'm not in the picture.
This is my mom, everyone.
It's fine.
You can stand behind the camera and we can just talk about some stuff.
Okay, so what kind of pizza do you guys like?
I mean, I
Anything.
don't really prefer anything. Pizza is pizza.
Good attitude. Did you hear that, Travis? Pizza is pizza.
First, this is my mom, everyone.
Hi.
Talking. Hello. Oh crap.
So what kind of pizza do you like, Travis?
I like pizza
No
without
sauce.
sauce because
No
I'm
sauce.
a picky eater.
Amen to that, brother. Okay, thin or thick? Thin? Isaiah said thin. I said Isaiah. I've been calling you Elijah all day because you got another Elijah upstairs.
Yeah, who's my brother's friend?
Okay, so I think we got it. Got a sandwich there? Anything on it?
No, it's
I was
just
gonna
two
say-
slices of bread.
You can put, well, I didn't see anything. I'm like, we've got ham, we've got some cheese. Okay.
We just cut it like really close so that like the edge would cover up.
You cut the edge off the bread?
No, like
Oh.
when we put the ham on there, we cut it so that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right.
It was Christmas.
Okay. Are you ready for school? When do you start school?
Together. So they must not be
Next
fine.
Thursday.
Oh, yeah, we're recording.
we're
I just
recording,
impart next Thursday?
Yeah, next
She
Next
says she's.
Thursday.
If you want to
next
be on the
Thursday.
podcast, this is my dad, everyone.
It's a whole week off. It's a whole week off still.
Hi, people.
A whole
Hi,
week
people
off.
online.
Okay. So we'll go order the pizza now.
Right, so I remember when I was unlocking the characters, I got Falco. I started playing as Falco, and since I was just like starting the game, and I thought it was like, oh wow, I could just do this the entire time and it's easy. And so I chose Falco. And then
But then you realized he was bad.
No, what happened was I unlocked Rob, and I thought, oh, Rob's amazing, I can just spam the side.
And we all remember how that went. You guys
I
don't.
got so mad when like I would get like beat by like you guys. I'm like, how does this work? Rob's supposed to be overpowered.
Yeah, but I would just dodge roll. I remember,
That was when you were Bowser.
that was, I still dodge roll. I spam dodge roll. Because I'm a terrible person. I guess your only game is Breath of the Wild.
Well, Link Between Worlds.
That's a good game.
I really like it. Like Breath of the Wild, it's like I was talking with Colson about this, but he was saying I just don't have a handle on like the combat.
Oh, that is what it is. Yeah, you're terrible at the game. I can already tell.
Yeah.
You're garbage at it. I already know.
Yeah. Like I won't even try to deny. Nowadays, I mostly watch like besides Game Grumps, I mostly watch in Super Mega. I watch other stuff. I'm blanking on like what else I watch, but I
Do you watch the
usually-
Odd Ones Out?
What?
Odd Ones Out?
Well, yeah, but he doesn't make content very often, so.
I watch all the Storytime animators except for one thing. I feel like the only ones that I really watch are Something Else YT, Jaden Animations, and The Odd Ones Out.
Yeah, watch.
Because the rest of them just feel like they're ripping off those guys and they're trying to like
I
write
watch
off their
Domix
success.
also.
Well, Domix is like the OG.
Yeah, I was about to say OG.
Like he's like the Storytime animator before that was a thing.
The other one's like Tim Tom is like.
I don't like Tim Tom. And I know that's gonna be controversial,
Yeah.
but it's because he can't take criticism.
What like.
People criticize him for being like an Odd Ones Out ripoff, and he just never. He just
Yeah,
always
people
gets
are-
like. He just always says like, "Oh, you're just haters."
I mean, I think that is a part
There's
of it.
there's
but
more
also,
stuff like that, but he
Like it is kind of like you can't like
he passes off all criticism as just people are hating on me.
like that's the thing about Storytime animators. Sure, it's cool, and they can like be inspired by the Odd Ones Out art style, but don't just like make your guy. Oh, it's also a bubble guy. I'm being original.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Tim Tom's style, like I get that it's his own and all, but like it smells like the Odd Ones Out.
Smells like what the Odd Ones Out is cooking.
Yeah, with the way that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been going down, I think Drax might die.
No idea.
I genuinely think they might kick Drax off.
They're not gonna kill Groot because that'd be a second time.
Yeah, no. The reason that I think they'll kick Drax off is because you know about the controversy about that, right?
What?
They fired the director.
Oh yeah, James Gunn.
Yeah, and Drax is like an adamant. So the actor that plays him, obviously,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
is an adamant supporter, and says that he will not work on the project if the James Gunn is not there.
Well, yeah. Well, the other Guardians of the Galaxy, like I know the actor Chris Pratt and a couple of others. I don't remember which ones in particular, but most of the Guardians of the Galaxy said, "Yeah, we support James Gunn and we don't want to do this without him."
Well, here's the thing. He's the only one that has physically gone out and been like completely, positively, 100% adamant about it. The others have just said they'll be there for him. Drax is the only one, like the actor who plays him. I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Me neither.
I know he's like a famous wrestler or something like that. But he's like, he has gone on record to say, if they do not hire him by the time that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out, like by the time that they start production of it, he will not be a part of it.
I mean, like that's fair
And-
enough. Like I would agree. Like I think what's happened to James Gunn is completely unfair.
And I don't think that Disney would be stupid enough to hire another actor,
Mm-hmm.
because it would not be the same character.
Well, they were stupid enough to fire James Gunn for something that's stupid.
That's fair. I'll give you that. If they do, I think the fans will be completely outraged. More so than they already are.
When I was tripping on acid, 3 dicks at the same time turned into 7 dead and 3 in critical condition.
Oh my god! Oh my god. Okay, let me tell you what. When I was tripping on acid, the KKK turned into the Pope.
Yeah, I see that. Running out of semen turned into child abuse. No, I think I won this one. I think I got it.
Yeah.
An Oedipus complex turned into crumbs all over the damn carpet. Oh my god.
I don't know what that even is.
Oh, an Oedipus complex is when you're substantially more attached. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, you won that. It's when you're substantially more attached to one parent than the other. It's like if you like your mom too much more than your dad or something like that.
Oh shit.
But it goes deep, like it has specific consequences. Anyway, what's Teach for America using to inspire any inner city students to succeed? Oh my gosh. I picked holding down a child and farting all over him. You gotta pick ones that make sense, because if you just choose them randomly, it's not gonna work. You gotta make one that's just fits together, and that's where
Right.
yeah.
It's not funny if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like holding down a child and farting all over him is funny because it's about children.
Fun tip, when your man asks you to go down on him, try surprising him with blank instead. I got the perfect one on this.
Oh my gosh. You know,
It's perfect.
mine is try surprising him with seppuku instead.
Mine is try and surprise him with a balanced breakfast instead.
You need to eat your cereals, bitch.
Right?
Oh my gosh. I love this game. Oh, it's so great.
So fun.
Try surprising him with chunks of dead hitchhiker.
The miracle of childbirth.
Inappropriate yodeling. Try surprising him with getting fingered instead. Hey girls out there, just you know, I'm a single Pringle and I'm ready to fuck. I'm ready to enjoy a wholesome evening of babysitting and watching a PG-rated movie.
I got it.
Nice.
Mine wasn't even funny.
Yeah, I mean, I agree it wasn't funny, but somehow you won.
Travis, shut your mouth.
No.
Shut up.
Hey, you don't talk to me that way, okay? What is George W. Bush thinking about right now? Probably the death of his father, I'd guess.
Yeah, probably that.
I picked blowing my boyfriend so hard he shits.
Mine is wondering if it's possible to get some of that salsa to go.
Fucking the weatherman on live television.
Excellent vocabulary.
What is George W. Bush thinking about right now? Liberals.
Liberal.
Spectacular abs.
Honestly, yeah.
Tearing that ass up like wrapping paper on Christmas morning.
Travis.
What?
Like, you picked the perfect card for just, like, you. That's your entire life.
What's that supposed to mean?
Faggot.
Alright, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No, you listen to me. Shut the fuck up right now, okay? Or I swear, I'll end the video, okay? I won't stand for this bullying anymore.
Okay, bye.
Fucking liberals.
Introducing the amazing superhero / sidekick duo. It's Woman of Color and Queefing.
Wait, what's queefing?
Do you not know what queefing is?
I mean, I've heard of it before, but I never really... I'm gonna look it up. Also,
No, don't look it up. Queefing is farting, but out of the vagina.
vaginal farting, vaginal flatulence, and...
Yeah.
No, it has... No, listen here. It has the Latin... It has the Latin name. Flatus vaginalis. Vaginalis.
No! There's no way.
No, that's what it is in Latin. Flatus vaginali. When the pharaoh...
It's called the plague of...
Okay, don't fucking interrupt me, okay? Okay, do you got that?
Shut up.
Hey, no, you don't talk to me that way, okay? When Pharaoh remained unmoved, Moses called down a plague.
I'm gonna use this one because I don't know what it is and I'm just gonna waste it. Plague of Academy Award winner Meryl Streep. I don't...
I didn't even read the other ones.
Wait, did you actually, like...
Yeah,
Oh my
I just
God.
picked that.
I bet everyone is, like, so mad right now.
Yeah.
More, what is it good for? Men discussing their feelings in an emotional, healthy way.
You know, when I was in Vietnam, I saw my best friend die, and I haven't gotten over it since. Oh, that's
my
alright.
God.
That's alright, brother. Bring it in.
So goddamn peace and quiet. Little balls on your face.
Hey, turn down that rock music. It's reminding me of Vietnam. The Chamber of Sexual Tension. I mean, when I saw 12-year-old Harry and 11-year-old Jenny, that was sexual tension if I ever saw it.
That was hot.
Having anuses for eyes.
That is so stupid.
That's fucking disgusting. What ended my last
No,
relationship?
it doesn't make sense either. It's not funny.
What ended my last relationship? The only gay person in 100 miles.
Okay, but like, I wanna play this card, but also it's so precious. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
This card I'm talking about is called. It's Danny DeVito, and I don't want to waste it.
Who's Danny DeVito?
Oh my god.
No, I'm
Are you
kidding. I know who he is. I just wanted to see how you'd react.
I was about to like literally immediately kill you.
I know.
Travis in the background typing out Danny DeVito online.
That's not true. Yeah, I know who he is. I know he's an American actor and filmmaker. He gained prominence for his portrayal of the taxi dispatcher.
That's good. You're exposing yourself.
He's the one.
Flashlight.
He's the one who's gonna say the N-word.
Yes, a saxophone solo.
Oh, shut the fuck up. That's not fucking funny.
Yes, it is. It's very funny. What if you were like on a date and in the middle of it you ordered like a saxophone guy to come up and he stood on the table in the middle of dating you and the girl just left and you're like, fuck. That's funny.
That happened to me.
Before I kill you,
No, that happened to me. You listen. You can't make jokes about that shit. Okay, it's not funny. No. Listen, Eryn. Okay, shut up. That's not funny. That happened to me. Okay, my last relationship, we were sitting at the table in the restaurant, and fucking Michael came up and started playing his fucking alto sax on the table. He started playing that bit from He started playing that bit from Hadrian's Wall, and holy shit, I got so angry I said the N-word 17 times in a row, and then the girl just shot herself. No, actually, after the date where I got dumped by that slut,
Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding. No. She started dating Michael because his saxophone solo was just so good, and he turned out to be an abusive boyfriend. He would hit her with he'd play the saxophone so loud that her ears would start bleeding, but it would make her wet each time, so, like,
Oh
she
my
still...
god. She just like come each time.
Yeah. Why am
It hurts, but it hurt. No, this is her. It hurts, but it hurts so good.
For my next trick, I will pull blank out of blank. I will pull Gandhi out of my abusive boyfriend, who really isn't okay.
My god. That'd be an amazing trick.
No, for my next trick, listen up, okay? Like, you've got no idea. I'm gonna just pull him straight out.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be hot.
That's the sound.
Yeah, that's the sound. I'm gonna pull him specifically out of his nose, which is on his
Oh my
dick.
God. I said your boyfriend's weird.
Hey,
or
hey,
husband,
I don't have a boyfriend. I'm not gay, okay? Miss me that gay shit.
But,
Hit or miss.
man.
I guess they never miss, huh? You got a boyfriend, I bet he doesn't kiss
Baby
ya.
doesn't kiss ya. Mwah.
Big Chungus has joined the game. Oh my fucking
my
gosh. Jinx. Big Chungus. Oh my gosh. Big Chungus is my savior. I'm gonna start jacking off right now.
Travis, do we need to talk?
No.
About what? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't. I'm having some trouble with penis breath. Like your
Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't win. Mine was giving birth to the Antichrist. See, this isn't working because I'm flaccid, so...
Just saw this upsetting video. Please retweet. Hashtag stop.
Stop making a pouty face. That's gonna win this.
How many dicks do I have? 3 dick total.
Okay, I'm giving up. I'm gonna stop.
What?
Oh, nothing. I didn't like look up Big Chungus or and start trying to J.O.
Oh my fucking...
Mr. and Mrs.
That's
Diaz,
so bad.
we called you in because we're concerned about Cynthia. Are you aware that your daughter is alcoholism? Did you know that your daughter's solving problems with violence? I mean, I remember when my daughter did that and I just put her down. So anyway,
Do you know you
Danny DeVito. Mr. and Mrs. Diaz, we called you in because we're concerned about Cynthia. Are you aware that your daughter is Danny DeVito? That was the perfect time to pick that. Well, if you excuse me, gentlemen, I have a date with Danny DeVito. They now prohibit getting naked and watching Nickelodeon. I'm pretty sure that they already do prohibit that, so. Becoming a blueberry on airplanes. I'm gonna go with that. What's up, Grandma? Fuck you, Grandma. Why do you have to steal? Why you got all the... You and Grandma are tied for first place.
Earlier. It doesn't make sense, so it's not funny. Shut up, Travis. Stupid blueberry.
Listen here. The blueberry makes sense because it's written in the name, Cards Against Humanity. See, if you rearrange the letters, you get the word blueberry. A romantic candle at dinner would be incomplete. I'm pretty sure you do.
I wouldn't feel awkward about it.
Well, I wouldn't feel awkward if anyone sucked my dick. The president of the
Travis, fair enough.
The president of the United States himself could suck my dick, and I would feel fine. We'll just get.
You know what? That's hot.
Donald Trump.
4-year-old Cheeto. Ex Travis.
Oh, Donald Trump. Oh, Donald Trump. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
on camera. Now you're filthy. Disgusting.
This is the picture I'm looking at. That's the face he makes when he blows me. I just sent it to you.
Oh my God. That's so dumb. I probably need. Oh my God.
50% of all marriages end in the bombing of Nagasaki. Next on ESPN2, the World Series of the World Series of 50,000 volts straight to the nipples. Yeah, let's see what happens. Do you think the Cubs are gonna win that? 50,000 volts straight to the nipples?
Probably.
How do you win that? Would you just are you just trying not to die or what?
Yeah, you have to have strong nips. And Travis, I don't mean to tug your nips, but I don't think you have those. I'm sorry, Professor, but I couldn't complete my homework because of blank.
Because of switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Did you know that?
Stop it.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Did you know that? Yeah, everyone knows that.
Really.
Yeah, but did you...
I couldn't complete my homework because of the gays. That was a good one, Travis. No, it wasn't. Shut your bitch ass up.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
I was being hard on you.
That's gay, first of all, but second of all, I don't appreciate it. Alright, I'm gonna need you to calm down. You're acting a little bit hyper, Eryn.
Hey, look here.
You're at a 9, I'm gonna need you to bring it down to a 5.
2:30 in the morning. I don't want to hear your bullshit excuses, okay?
Okay, Mom, I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Thank you.
Please don't yell at
Thank
me.
you.
Please, Mom. I just wanna sit up here and
Stop
drop.
fucking whining and I won't. Stop. Stop it.
Mom, I'm not whining.
Stop.
No, Mom.
Stop talking.
Mom, listen.
I said stop.
Mom, listen. The therapist said you need to listen more, okay? Listen. I just want to be up here and draw, okay? That's all I want. That's all I want. Please, Mom.
You're a faggot.
What never fails to liven up the party? Telling a shitty story that goes nowhere. That's what I do. Damn,
Yeah,
that's
you're doing it right now.
that's hey. We have a band teacher who likes to tell jokes and do the funny ha-has. So next time he tells a joke, I just want to yell out, funny stuff. Just to deflate.
You should. Do it.
When they circle our beautiful destroyers with their little boats and they make gestures at our people they shouldn't be allowed to make, they will be shot out of the water. Oh yeah, we started a Spotify playlist together. It's called the gay list. Play on words, get it?
Yeah, the game.
Have you?
In the picture for it is scooting, dramatic scooting.
Flippy floppies, the flop, flippy, the flippy flop, flip.
So if anybody wants to check that out, it's mostly just Travis's music because he fucking hoarded everything. But whatever.
Listen, okay. No.
I put some SpongeBob classics in there. Look, I'm adding a piano song. It's called Aaron's Waltz. It's my fucking waltz. Don't touch it. Yeah. It's my theme song. It's my life theme song.
Yeah, because definitely when you enter the room, this is the kind of mood that I get.
Yeah, bro. It's not like anything else. I'm not. Okay. So Travis, what do you like? Act like you never met me, right?
That's gonna be hard.
If I walked into the room right now, what would you? What do I look like? What type of person do I look like?
Well, I can tell you what my first impression of you was in 6th grade. I just saw you with the French horn, and I didn't know if you were a girl or a boy.
Fuck. Of course.
No, don't worry. But
No, I don't care. I'm used to it.
Yeah, well, that was back when you had, like, just the brown hair and just, like, over, and, like, it was very, it looked kind of meticulous in a way. I don't know. But you just looked kind of normal. You looked pretty reserved, and then Ethan made friends with you, and then, because of that, so we all sat at lunch together, and you shoved hentai in my face and said, "I know you're soothed by this."
Oh my god. Wait, did I do that?
Yes, you did.
You remember that?
Yes. That,
oh my god.
we were all sitting at lunch together, and you just shoved it. It was one of the mangas from the school library, and one of the panels was a girl who's practically naked, but with some hair and bubbles covering up the questionable bits.
Oh! Yeah, I think I remember that. And, I showed everyone, and everyone was freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
Kinda.
And, you shoved it in my face, it was like, "No, stop," and you're like, "You know you're soothed by this, Trev." No,
That's so funny.
it really depends on, the setting, because if you just walk in to say a classroom, and I'm very much the same way as you when it comes to this, like a controlled setting, like a classroom or a place where it's very clear. You go in, you be quiet, then it's just we appear, both of us generally appear pretty plain and boring, like following the rules. But when we walk into a place and there's no rules and it's just, all right, have fun, then it's we can be pretty energetic.
Yeah, we get fucking weird.
No, it's it's kind of sad now, because since we're going to different schools, I just have Jason and Patton to do that with, and sometimes some other people. But it's we need you to complete the dynamic, because when it's just 3 people, it's well, I guess they're pretty weird. But when it's more than 3 people, it's all right, they're doing their own thing. They're a whole group.
Yeah, they're just right.
I see you added "Take on Me" to the playlist. That was one that I forgot to add. That's really, to be honest, that's the song that actually got me into music in the first place. You know.
Oh, that's the Take on Me. That's the sad version of Take on Me.
Oh well, that.
So it's and they're both made by the same person. I can add both of them. I love both of them.
Yeah, no. For me, it's a little bit of a weird story, because before then, I was never really into music. I was into movie soundtracks. You know, I'd listen to a lot of soundtracks. Oh yeah, it's cool music. I hated mainstream pop music or rock or anything like that. I was no, that sucks. It's boring.
How could you hate rock? First of all, I fucking hate mainstream pop music, but rock is just fucking awesome.
Well, because at the time, I just hated music in general, because I thought it was stupid. You know, I was an ignorant little kid, and then I'd heard "Take on Me" and I thought it was okay, but not much. And then I heard it. I remember the exact time. We were in jazz band. We were at, I think it was the Bloomington Jazz Fest, and we were in the arcade, and it came on the radio in the arcade, and I was like, this song is pretty fire. So I remember I actually talked about it with my mom, and she's like, you should watch the music video, because it's a classic, and I did, and I liked it. And then I started getting into Queen, and listening to some.
Oh, Queen.
Yeah. And then, after Queen, I gradually started getting into Yes, and over a very like over that next year, Yes gradually started taking over everything I listened to because they've got so many songs and so many different styles that it's like you can really listen to anyone at any time. But it's always strange to think back to like Take on Me being the song that got me into music like legitimately.
I don't remember music like that. I just remember music like. I just like music because the feeling it gives you. I remember a song because of the feeling it gives me. I don't have any specific memories, but music does make me feel good, and it's a very good thing.
Yeah. Like some songs I just remember the feelings they give me. But like like other songs, like I'll have specific memories of them. Like my favorite song is Close to the Edge by Yes, and like it's like I remember it both ways because I remember the first time I listened to it, I thought it was super boring. But over time, like as I listened to it more and more, I was like, this is really good. And I remember the first time I really listened to it, I was listening to it while reading the lyrics as well. And this was about a year and a half ago. Like I remember this was early in 8th grade, and like it was just such an experience. I was like, this is amazing. Like I was just like enraptured in the music and in the sound and the lyrics and the meaning, and like it was like one of the best experiences, you know? It was
yeah. Dude, you're gonna be a fucking genius in music if you go through that. Like, if you go through for it.
That's incredible.
Because, like, I can see, like, you really like it.
Thanks a lot. That's actually super nice of you. Like,
yeah, no, I'm serious.
Like I have a nice warm feeling in my stomach now. Thanks. Cause it is what I want to do, but you know, it's almost practically like winning the lottery, like whether or not you'll actually be able to succeed at it.
Yeah, it's like being an artist, but like 10 times harder. Cause music is like it's hard to get it out there. It really is.
Yeah.
But I believe you can do it if you like really work hard enough and you really want to do it as much as you say you do.
Thanks a lot. That's actually yeah. I'd really like to. I really would. It's just like I just don't know if if that would be worth the risk. And of course all the adults in my life are probably going to say, "Oh no, you should go with a more traditional job." But it's like right. I just don't know. It's like I would absolutely
well, I'd say right, alright, so, like, you can get a job, right? You can get a job, like, a normal job, whatever, quote-unquote normal job, but on the side, you keep growing your music, and you pay attention to that a little bit more. It doesn't have to be a big job, like...
Yeah. That's probably what I plan to do.
Like, yeah.
Like, I'll figure it out eventually, Yeah.
No, you could go.
I'll figure out eventually, like, what I really want to do, because, like, I need to figure out whether I really want to do college, because if I don't, I can just get, like, a normal job somewhere, and then, like, do music on the side. But if I do go to college, it would probably be to become a therapist, because that's probably what I want to do, and then I would do music on the side. Like there's just so much stuff that I love doing that like I'd actually be interested in. Like, you know, with filming, it's like even though my YouTube channel is pretty shitty, like there's actually aspects
like you have a passion for it, you love to do it, and it's like fun.
Yeah, it's like there's actually aspects of cinematography and narrative and storytelling that I'm really interested in. I also like want to be an author, and it's like it's strange because it's like I don't know if I'm able to put energy into all those different things. It's like I have no idea what the future has in store because there's so many different rivers I could go down, and it's daunting facing all of them, you know? Call me disrespectful or a coward or whatever, but if I was drafted to go to the military, I'd proudly not go. I would proudly, like, just totally back out of that shit.
You could, like, fucking tax this shit. Like, you'd be fucked over.
Yeah, I would not join the military, okay? And it's not a big statement on war or anything. It's just I'm not going to go out and kill anyone, okay? I'm not going to go and waste my time doing exercises and stuff that doesn't matter to me. Like, you know, and you can be like, well, it's a service to your nation. You like our troops die to defend you. It's like all right, sure, there are people who die to defend me, and that's great, but I'm not going to be one of them. I would rather use my life for something that means something to me.
I'm sorry, if that were me though, like I'm probably not going to do that because I'm a whole ass gal. But like, if I were a guy and I would dip. I'd fucking like, I'm gonna leave, guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, like the people that go out there and do like fucking sacrifice themselves or whatever, like you're brave,
Yeah.
You deserve like everything you get.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the fuck, yeah. But I don't care about the free discounts. I don't want to fucking die.
Yeah.
I just don't want to die.
And I don't
have other things to do.
Yeah, I don't want to die, and I don't want to kill anyone else, and I also don't want to waste my time destroying myself like that,
Right. I don't want to get fucked up in the brain just for
yeah. Vietnam flashbacks.
Like, yeah, exactly. I don't want PTSD. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Like, it's like the people who do go out and serve, it's like, bless them. They're doing, like, an amazing thing that, like, I certainly wouldn't have the balls to do. And it's like, sure, let's give them all the respect, but it's like, I'm not going to be doing that, There are plenty of people who will do it instead.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, like, because some things do suck about the military. Like, for instance, first of all, we go to war over things that can be solved by sitting down and talking it out. Which is like the one problem, but also the other one is like in the military there are people that they just use. They're like, your job is to die so that we can use your body as a barricade, like at Normandy.
Yeah.
And I'm just not down with that.
Like, I'm not down for that. That's not my oyster.
Yeah.
That's not my thing.
Yeah.
I've got like, so much shit in my life.
Yeah.
I don't got anything against America or whatever, and if you think that it's disrespectful to not fight for America, look, I'm just here.
Yeah.
I wasn't, like, I'm not gonna die for this place. Like, I don't care. I don't know if that's a bad thing to say, but, like, I don't really, like, I respect everyone that, like, has their own opinion, and, like,
yeah.
Like, I respect America, but I don't want to die for it. Like, I have my own life, and I want to live that through.
Yeah,
to the very end.
Yeah, America is supposed to serve its people, and it's like there can be a powerful unity in the notion of like seeing America as like this like thing that we're all a part of, and it's our duty to serve it. There can be power in that,
Right.
but at the same time, it's like I would rather not be involved with that,
Yeah.
It's like
I just, like, hate, like, everything we fucking fight over can be, like, peacefully talked over, but
Yeah.
nobody fucking does that. So
yeah.
we just, like, bomb each other for no reason.
Yeah. I
I
actually
don't think anybody has brains. Nobody can think correctly.
You're not thinking correctly.
I don't think you're thinking correctly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, actually, I learned the national anthem, like the music for it, just so that I can create an arrangement of it to disrespect it as much as possible.
Oh my god.
No,
Okay. Oh shit.
No, it's like it's not even it's nothing about hating America. I just want to see people get pissed off because I'm disrespecting the anthem. Like, that's really it. I just want to see the reaction. And it's like,
No, I don't think, like, people, like, understand. People are gonna dislike this video or whatever, but it's, like, it's funny to see how, like, pro-America or pro-whatever this people or people are about things, you know what I mean?
well, yeah,
But it's, like, I don't know, like,
yeah,
I don't want to get on anyone's nerves. I don't want to make anyone
Yeah.
angry. Like, I respect everyone's opinion. I respect what you believe in. I'm fine with that. I am perfectly fine with that. But it's so fun to see them squirm when you're just talking bad about it.
yeah. No, It's great. Yeah. Like, there's so many times when I just want to say something to a teacher just to see their reaction, but I'm worried about getting in trouble, you know?
Right, exactly. Or when you're talking to your friends and you know, like, they're... Okay, that might be bad. Well, when you're talking about someone, right, and you're talking about something that they don't agree with, my mom's in here, please.
That's
okay,
new.
but, like, I like it, because, like, when you're talking about something that someone agrees about, and they just have this look on their face when you're talking about it.
Yeah, it's always like that look of like, how can you say that if I disagree with you?
Right. It is so funny. It's just, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it's like the best thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Well.
I mean, you can get mad at me, I guess, but like, I'm not trying to disrespect you. Well, I am, but I'm not gonna hold that against you. I'm fine. Like, I'm fine with whatever. It's just kind of funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely get that. The way I want to do this is, like, I'm going to say the questions. I'm going to guess your answer, you're going to guess mine, and then we're going to actually say them. So, first question is, what am I most afraid of? And for your answer, I think you're going to say that the thing you're most afraid of is not being free and feeling trapped.
Well, your answer, I think you're gonna say maybe not being successful in, like, what you think you're gonna be. Like, okay, that's it. What were you gonna say?
My answer, the thing I'm most afraid of, is probably being alone or being unhappy. What's yours?
Okay. My thing I'm most afraid of... Oh, shit. That's a lot of things.
No, yeah, that's true. There's so much.
Probably being alone. Yeah, like you, yeah. I don't wanna...
Yeah.
No, wait. Nah, I can take being alone. I don't give a fuck about that. Never mind, wait.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's death. Like, I'm scared of the afterlife, or whatever it's gonna bring me, because, like, you know, when you die, well, what I believe in, well, I'm an atheist. I respect all other people's religions. Well, since I'm an atheist, I believe in when I die, I'm gonna die. And so if I, like, you know, fuck up everything now, or just, like, you know, give up or whatever, I'm not gonna have any, like, second chances, you know what I mean? So I guess I'm pretty scared of that.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Second question, and I don't know what they mean by this, but it's where can you always find me? And I'm gonna guess that you're going to say in my penis.
Oh my god. Alright. Okay. I think I could always find you. Probably in your bedroom, like, masturbating on your fucking piano. That's what you'd be doing.
First of all,
like, honestly,
my piano is not in my bedroom. Second of all,
I've never been to your house, okay?
What?
I've never been to your house, okay?
Okay.
I don't know where your shit is.
Second of all, I don't spend most of my time masturbating or in my bedroom. And third of all, you can always find me in your vagina. Oh gosh, wait, no, that sounds bad. Never mind. Okay, you answer.
You fucking try, bro. Okay, let's make this even. Yeah, sure, you'll always find me in a penis.
Literally inside.
What the way you phrase that.
My greatest accomplishment is probably eating the fuck out of my depression.
Honestly,
I yeeted out of that shit.
Let's get a dab on that.
Question number 10 is, sigh. what was my most embarrassing moment. And
Time.
I think you're probably going to say the last few days of school when you did your hair up and it ended up looking like my hair.
Oh my god. I remember that. No. It didn't even look like your hair though.
It did a little
Did
bit.
it?
Well, no, it looked just like my hair when I was starting out in 5th grade with that.
I'm not saying like that your hair look was weird or bad. in that
Well, it
moment.
was.
Well, like back then, you might have thought it was bad, but like I thought it was like really fun. I thought it was just like really fun.
Well, yeah, that was the idea. Is like it was just supposed to be fun, but it ended up being kind of weird and kind of bad, but mostly just fun.
I love that. It was
All right.
classic. It's always gonna be the best. Your most embarrassing moment.
Yeah, this is tough because I don't really get embarrassed by much.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like... And plus, I have, like, a really bad memory, so I don't remember that much. Like,
Yeah, that's
from,
understandable.
Like, middle school, surprisingly. I'm like, my fucking brain is... And it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh. What have we done?
Right? Shit. I don't know. Have you ever been embarrassed in band class? Like, you ever done something?
Not really. Remember in 6th grade when I chewed gum from the bottom of the chair and I got called out on it by everyone and Mr. Christian?
Oh my god, yes. Yes. No, that is your most embarrassing moment. That was like...
Oh
I
my
think that was
gosh.
like one of my favorite... I don't think we were that close at the time.
No,
like,
we didn't know each
we
other.
weren't that close. Yeah, we were like separate. Like we weren't like really that close, but I would talk to you like sometimes. And like I heard that, I was like, what the hell? That's so gross. But now like, no, I thought it was like funny too. I was like, like I couldn't stop laughing. I remember that. Like
And
it was so funny.
he made me get up and spit it out, and Isaiah said I look like a tomato. No, see, that wasn't that.
I think that was like one of the best moments like in band history of all time.
Really?
Oh, that's-
I just want to forget about it because everyone it's still to this year in freshman year. Everyone keeps like will always bring it up. Like Rebecca would always be like, you
Remember
remember
that
in
one time he jumped from the bottom of the chair?
Yeah,
That was
oh
so
my-
fucking funny though.
Oh, it's hilarious. I will say I don't really think I have a most embarrassing moment because I don't get embarrassed by much. Because usually with stuff like that, like the chewing gum story, it's more funny than embarrassing. But I would say
Yeah.
most embarrassed I've ever felt is probably back in like kindergarten and 1st grade when I'd break some rule on the bus and they'd have me stand in front of the bus and I had to look back at all the other kids while they like yelled at me
Yeah.
for. But like looking back, it's no big deal now. But back then, I was like, like I remember she said, "I'm gonna write you up," and I had never heard that term before, so I thought she literally meant like write on me. I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
All right, but what was your most embarrassing moment?
Okay. There's so many. Wait. Well, there's like a couple in middle school that I remember, and it still haunts me to this day. Alright, so, okay, this one's really bad. So, like, if anyone that doesn't know me, like, or doesn't know this about me, I have, like, this, like, really weird, like, obsession with true crime and serial killers, and, like, anything. It's not really weird. It's not like I'm not gonna become one of them, so don't worry about that. I'm not... Please,
No one's
please
worried.
let me.
No one's worried.
Please-
Don't worry. Just
please
go.
love me.
Just go ahead with your story.
Like, okay, so I know, like, a lot about any serial killer you can name. Like, honestly, yeah. So, me
Wait,
and
Elliot
language class-
Rogers. Elliot Rogers.
Elliot Rogers? I don't know who that is. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Okay then.
I know. Alright, so, like, in the language class, 8th grade, so my language teacher was talking. We were debating or whatever, or yeah, we were debating. We were talking about something, and you know, John Benet Ramsey.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. John Benet Ramsey is a little girl that supposedly got killed. Yeah, she got killed. Got killed and was like this. She disappeared for like a couple days. And so like they found her in the basement of her own home, which is obviously fucked up. And so I was spouting off I raised my hand and I was spouting out facts about the cold case or whatever, the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I talked about a specific fact about like how she could it could have been like there was evidence that she could have been raped like after that or something like that. And at the end of the sentence, I like laughed a bit, like I giggled a bit because I was nervous. Because
I know what you mean. It's because
I laughed after I was telling about all the fucking murder. I laughed because I was so nervous.
No, I get it.
Everyone
Yeah.
was looking at me, and I was really nervous because I was like, "Oh my god, I'm being fucking weird again, aren't I?" And so I laughed like really awkwardly at the end, and then that's when I realized I fucking laughed at the rape part, and I was like,
"Oh my god." No, I feel for you. I have to try not to smile.
And everyone looked at me, and they were like, "That's not funny," and I was like, I could not look up for the rest of the day. I honestly couldn't look up.
Oh gosh, no.
I was like,
oh my gosh, that's so tough. Like I have to smile every time I talk about someone who died. Like
yeah.
It's like some part of me just wants to you know?
Right. Yeah.
But actually, alright, go ahead.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Oh yeah, that sounds. Oh my gosh. But I was gonna say, speaking of embarrassing moments, I did remember something else that happened to me in 5th grade, and plenty of people are gonna remember this story. But in 2nd, 4th, and 5th grade, I'd won the spelling bee for my class. Which means I would. Which means I'd go on to the school-wide spelling bee, and I remember in 5th grade. Oh, this was an oof. I was in the high ability class, the smartest class in the school. The first word that came up, and this was between the 4th and the 5th grade, the first word that came up was the word verb, and I stumbled spelling it, so I said V-E-R-B, and they didn't count it because I actually said VR at first. And so I was just out of the spelling bee from then on, and I was like, oh my god. Like, I started crying on the stage, and, like, I remember, oh my gosh, it was such a, they started taking pictures of everyone up there. I was just, like, sitting off on the edge, like my face was red, and I was trying not to cry. Oh my god.
That's horrible. Like, how old were you in this?
I was 11.
Oh, okay, you were 11. Okay, never mind. I thought you were, like, if you stumbled, yeah. I don't think that's that bad, though.
Well, it's not. It's just, well, at the time I had a huge.
I wouldn't think they'd.
Like
I wouldn't think they'd take a thing. I've always wanted to be in a spelling bee, but like, we never had one.
Yeah, like, the reason why it was so bad was like one of the big things was at the time I had a huge ego about having to beat everyone at everything, you know, and be the smartest kid,
yeah.
And so that was part of it, but also the other part of it was just it was just this horrible, like, I made this huge mistake that I was disappointed in myself. I knew other people would be disappointed in me. I remember like walking back to the classroom. I walked back separately from the rest of the class because I was one of the people on the stage. I remember my mom was trying to comfort me and stuff. I walked back into the classroom and I know Mr. I almost said his name. Gosh dang it. This is too early to be doing this. The teacher probably told everyone to do this, obviously. He'd be like, all right, listen, you made a mistake. It's okay. When he walks back into the class, just stand up and clap, you know? So I did that, and they started doing that. I just broke down and cried. And then we went to the restroom later that day, and I was crying in the bathroom while we were all in there. And like I remember one of the boys that year, whose name was Ethan, not the same Ethan that we all know and love, but a different Ethan who's since moved to Florida. He had been kind of mean to me that year, and he was a great kid. He was the most intelligent kid in the school. He was like almost a freaking genius, and he was also very like he tried to have moral integrity and be nice and do the right thing and stuff. But it's like he had been kind of mean to me and picking on me that year. So in the bathroom, he just like this fucking 5th grade kid just straight up apologized to me, said, "I'm sorry for the way I've been treating you this year," and like it was like almost fucking inspiring, because like that was the first time anyone was actually did something bigger than just themselves to me, who was like another kid, and I'm very happy that happened, because I'm glad I have like that final like good memory of him as a person like before he left, because if he was like still around here in Indiana instead of Florida, like he'd probably be great company. He was an amazing dude.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Eggshell Podcast. It's me, your host, Travis, as well as our beautiful guest,
Ching Chong Man.
Yes, and
You already know what
to do. We're hosting me.
No, really though, it's like Braden, Savage Kid, you know? Savage Kid.
I think we might have actually turned it up too high, because now look at the audio file.
No, it's fine.
It's a whole river.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Wait, you want to see what it sounds like, or?
No, this is the podcast. We get to have a conversation.
Well, I didn't know this was the podcast.
So, what have you guys been up to lately?
Touching like a dog. Yeah, a dog.
I'll be the dog toucher.
My dinner.
That's my occupation.
It's fine.
Yes.
I've been touching kitty cats.
Yes.
Yeah, I like coming over to your house and touching your cats.
Yeah, I need to have you over touch my cats more often.
Yes.
Just
touching the cat. Yeah.
Why does your cat like say stop when I keep touching him?
I know.
I don't know.
Wait, he can speak.
Stop! Stop!
He talks a lot.
Stop it!
He talks in my sleep too. You know?
Stop eating the cookies, you're fat.
This is my first one.
You touch a cookie? No!
No.
You're not allowed to do that.
Cookie toucher.
Cookie monster.
You want a cookie?
Fun fact: I had 18 cavities.
I don't want to. That's impressively. Oh my god! I eat like crap, and I've never had a cavity in my life. Cause
I had like a few cavities.
I have genetic plot armor. I just want like a show like Sesame Street, where it's just completely a kids show, except instead of having kids on the show, they just have like full grown adults on the show. So it's like, let's go down to Sesame Street to see the kids there, and then the
like
kid
a blue.
There's man with one of those helicopter hats and a big blue, red balloon.
Yeah, instead of a lollipop, he's just smoking a blunt. He's like, oh yeah.
You just see like
everybody there is just high.
We just see like a blue furry just running after a kid.
Yeah, it's just lays the kid down on the ground and just start beating the crap out of him.
Where's my cookie?
Like you just see this dude with a dozen cookies, baker dozen.
Yeah, and Cookie Monster's just like
Cookie Monster after him.
Oh my gosh.
I'll take this.
Oh, that's great. That is beautiful. Brain's got a call. Oh, great.
Wow,
why don't you just turn the phone off during the podcast?
Gosh darn it, man.
Oh my gosh.
It's the podcast.
You're just making it so inconvenient for everybody else.
Right? This is why we don't like you.
This is why we should just eradicate everyone who is of an inferior race.
Yes.
Can't wait until like a teacher or someone like looks at my social media and finds like all the edgy jokes there, and then they're gonna be like,
Travis,
can we like
we need to go to the principal's office real quick.
Can we keep this kid out of college?
Can we not?
Can we kick him out for this since it isn't school related? Or, like I want to have I want to start a conflict with someone in the school on social media, except not do anything about it in school, just to see if they actually react to it.
See, imagine like your teacher looks like she goes on to everybody's like
or he don't. This is 2019.
I said you teachers.
You said she goes on to.
Okay, teachers. Or she or he
Or
they.
Or they.
Thank you.
Or
they. Or it.
Or it's a Pokemon. Go, teacher, I choose you.
Who's that Pokemon?
Use Razor Leaf.
No, but imagine that like they're all checking your guys' like
Social media.
social medias and stuff, or they just start getting updates off of your Google account.
Yeah, they start following me just to see what I post. It's like Travis is live with snorting cocaine off of my best friend.
Snorting cocaine on my friend's butt crack.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like they also have
It's
medical
that.
cocaine. They have a lot of drugs and medical methamphetamine.
Wait, can I talk about that?
What? Oh yeah, I mean,
I mean
you could.
no, but
family
anyways, the other day I was high, right? And
On what?
Wait.
Just oh.
Yeah, me and my brother, we went over to this woman's house, and like
Let me
he's
get
known her for a
arrested.
long time.
Honestly though, that is actually illegal
Yeah, man.
and also bad for your brain.
But
For
see,
legal
listen.
reasons, this is all. A
This
joke
is
and
all.
never-
This is all a hypothetical situation.
No,
This is
this is a true story though. Like
This
This
is
is a hypothetical situation.
This is
No,
like
just
this.
listen,
No,
just
this is the
listen.
Shane Dawson doing weird things to his cat story. It's all a joke.
It's all a joke, man.
He never touched his cat in a bad way.
Uh-huh.
He never. He never.
He did not have sexual relationships with that cat.
Okay, well,
Alright,
first of all, this is
Excuse me, guys. Can I finish? Okay.
No.
That's what she said. No,
Wow.
but anyways.
I did not do anything weird with that cat. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but anyways, like we literally walked over to her house, and it was only me and him because my mom and my sister, they went to work. Like my little sister went to work with my mom.
What?
And
Wait, child labor?
Yes.
no.
Child sweatshop?
This is Chinese
sweatshop.
On Purdue, we saw this sweet shop, and I was like, "What if it said sweatshop?" Just straight up, just like a bunch of
Come buy a jar of
a bunch of
sweat.
kids are just like soot covered faces, just being beaten to make ice cream.
Like a dude with a whip. Just.
Ron, make the sweets. all right. So
Okay, but
continue.
anyways, it was this like let's see, say about 12 or something, and like we walked
AM
over
or
there.
PM?
PM, or no AM.
Midnight?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is like
wow.
late at night.
Oh, okay.
It was just me and my brother at home. And my mom doesn't get back until like morning and stuff. And I had school. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we walked over to this lady's apartment, and it's like it's like a far ways away. We walk over there. We walk inside. You know, even the old lady, she's like sitting there drinking, taking shots and stuff. And me and my brother.
Wait,
were just
of what?
sitting there, of like, liquor and stuff like that.
Like what kind
And
of
she was
like?
drinking beer.
Oh.
I don't even know what kind of liquor, but we were sitting
Sponsored by Bud Light.
there. Yeah, but listen, guys, this is what happened.
Yeah.
First, we go over there. We're smoking one blunt. Next thing you know, we had.
Well, hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
Yes. Next thing you know, we literally just got done smoking 2 blunts out of that. Like
Wait,
we
at
smoked one
once?
blunt.
That is a
No,
bad
we smoked
idea.
we smoked one blunt. We were done with that one. 2 seconds later, you see us with another blunt. We're just sitting there smoking it, and then literally we leave, and I felt fine. I'm just sitting there like this. I'm just like, okay, bye. Like, you know, I felt fine because usually when I smoke weed, I don't get high. Especially
Hypothetically.
like how
Yeah,
I just did.
hypothetically.
Just like how I did.
I wish I was high on pot news.
No, but like
That
just
kind of
just like how I did. Since I had 2 blunts, I didn't know. Like, I didn't think anything was gonna happen. Like, so we walked out and we were walking back home. We walked down this hill and stuff, and we crossed the street. And like as we're crossing the street, I like black out, but I was still walking. And as
Wait,
soon
you can
as-
black out from getting high?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like drinking too much, then you black out, then you do
Yeah.
something weird.
See, this what happened though. Like, as soon as we hit the grass, like I think we were walking up it, and out of nowhere I fell. I was like, Jordan, and like everything is like the ground and everything. It's just like going like this and into my face, and it's like invisible almost. Like it's visible, but you're going through it. I was like, what the heck? And out of nowhere, I fell.
Someone put something psychedelic in your
No,
weed.
look, and then out of nowhere, but this was the best weed I've ever smoked.
Hypothetically.
For legal reasons.
For legal reasons, this is all hypothetical.
Yes.
All academic.
Hypothetically. No, but out of nowhere, I ended up falling, right?
Uh-huh.
And I got back up. I was like, Jordan. And then, like, we were walking. He's like, Braden, stay with me. I was like, all right. I said, I'm good. Like, we start walking. And it's still doing the same thing. And I'm just walking like this. I felt like I was so relaxed, though. You know, like,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just-
yeah. It's depressing.
I'm just sitting
Oh,
here
yeah.
like this. I'm sitting here walking around. I'm like, all
I
right,
can see
Jordan.
you walking
And
out.
he's like, dude, do not do anything stupid. I was like, all right. I'm sitting here walking. He's like, Brandon, move off the street. I was like, oh. I was in the grass. And he's like, dude, get on this side of me. I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't know. I grabbed onto his arm. I'm just walking. He's like, dude, why you on me? I was like, you said I could be on you. he's like, no, I didn't. He's like, no, I didn't. Then he's like, no, I didn't. And then I was like, I'm still walking. We're getting closer to light. And I'm like, oh, Jordan. I think I'm done being high.
What? It just ended?
No, I was like, I think I'm done being high. I was like, never mind. Like, literally, this is how it was. I was just like, oh, Jordan. I think I'm done being high. No, I was like, never mind.
Oh yeah, it's like when you have to throw up and you're like, oh no, I think I'm done.
I was like, but yeah, when I was like that, I was like, oh god. I was like, we're just walking, and he sees me jump up onto the curb like this, and he's like, Brayden, stop. I was like, Jordan, no, I'm fine now. I was like, I'm actually fine now. And I like jumped down, and he's like, bruh. I'm like, no. I was like, no, it's fine.
Parkour.
I was like, I'm fine now.
YouTuber does parkour while high.
That's hypothetically high.
Yeah, for legal reasons, this is all a joke.
Listen, last time I was high.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. But anyways, last time I was high with him, I ended up doing a backflip on a trampoline, which was like over summer. But yeah, during this time, we get home and I felt fine. This me when we got home. What's up, guys? You boy, I'm high.
Hypothetically.
Oh dang, I can see it in your eyes. They're just.
You're moving closer to the mic.
I got up on the couch. Like I was really. I took a piece of weed like that much. We're in the bathroom trying to smoke it.
Hypothetically. In the hypothetical bathroom. Act. Wow. Oh yeah, your eyes are just straight up hypothetically pink in that totally fake video.
I was just like this, right? I was like this, and then I was like this. I opened my eyes, and you could see the white at the top, because you know how it cuts across at the bottom.
No, I don't. I've never done weed.
Yeah, I literally, my mouth was so dry. I literally was so thirsty, but my mouth was dry.
Isn't there like water you could just grab?
I was high enough.
Wow. All right, so moral of the story.
Picking it up.
moral of the story, kids.
Do not get high.
Don't get high.
Don't do any drugs until you're 25.
Yeah. See,
this person right here is
hypothetically. He's a hypothetical.
Look, what's this?
This is an act.
Hypothetically, I'm high. Pathetic.
5 minutes ago. I'm sitting there walking. I'm sitting there.
Closer to the mic.
Well, I'm good. That's what I was just doing this. My brother in the background, like, if you guys listen like super close. I was just doing this.
Oh yeah, I heard him.
Yeah, he was like Brayden. 5 minutes ago. I'm sitting there walking. I'm sitting there. He said, sit down, Brayden. Sit down. Come here. I was just doing this.
I was just doing
that. He literally told me while we was walking.
Well,
I was hypothetically high.
Hypothetically.
I was hypothetically
For legal
high.
reasons, this is all hypothetical.
And what happened was, he's like, dude, as soon as we get home, get a drink of water and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I just laid there on the couch, watched TV, and I don't know, I blacked out. Because my phone died, I was mad. I thought, because I knew he took my charger. It was either him or my sister, and he had it. I was like, bruh. And like after that, my high was over. Hypothetically.
You're hypothetical.
Yeah, goes hypothetically over.
Yeah. But thank you for listening to my story, y'all.
Yeah.
Hypothetical.
This is all a story, not an account.
Next time you guys watch one of the videos, you're gonna see Elmo high. I can bet you that.
Yeah, tune in next time on our podcast to see Elmo himself smoking a blunt. Hypothetically.
It's for a lesson to teach the kids. Don't get high.
Just smoke whenever you feel like it.
Okay, kids, welcome to Sesame Street. Now, today we're gonna go out and tell kids the dangers of smoking marijuana.
What's this, kids? So this is how you smoke marijuana?
Kids, you just gotta lay it down and just gotta roll it up into a blunt. And you gotta light it up and... I can see the
I can
universe!
roll you guys one right now.
I'd rather you did it.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yes.
We don't actually know how this works because we're innocent kids.
Yeah. Siri, how do you make weed?
I don't think you're supposed to touch the pop filter.
Yeah.
Isn't that... What happens when you touch the... Does the world end?
Yes.
Hey Siri, what happens
just call down a plague
when
of
you
God?
get high?
Siri's gay.
Morris Scott was the coach for Southern University.
Wait. Ask Siri, how big was the world's biggest poop?
Here's what I found on the web for how big is the world's biggest poop.
It says Jacksonville man holds Guinness World Record of largest.
How long is it though?
Let's see.
Why is it incognito?
I love how she just sounded like disdainful when she had to say the word poop. Poop.
Longest collection of fertilized poop. Stuff.
Heck.
Oh! I thought that was a rock.
I know.
Oh, why is it
23
green?
million years old.
Why is it green? Oh, that's nasty.
5 to 23 million years old.
Oh my gosh.
Over 4 pounds and is between
That's
5
like-
and 23 million years old.
That's like
That weighs over 4
16
pounds.
McDonald's hamburgers.
But it
That's
weighs over 4 pounds.
At least-
Yeah, that's 16 McDonald's hamburgers worth of poo-poo. Pee-pee poo-poo man.
Poo-poo man.
Oh my gosh. Where did you get that joke?
I think I
Pee-pee poo-poo?
saw it like in a video once.
Or just someone saying pee-pee poo-poo man,
Yeah,
and
it's
suddenly
like-
you're like, this is the funniest thing.
This is the
pee-pee poo-poo man! He's the man that controls the pee-pee poo-poo.
I mean, imagine just like being in a quiet room and like it's all suspenseful and like.
Alright, kids, so for the NWEA, you need to understand the pee-pee poo-poo man. Yeah, so just like
It's like-
everyone's eye-step testing.
It picks you up, you know that.
In the middle of eye-step testing, just...
They just hear.
Brayden, do the card trick you did for me. Have me pick a card. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, here, pick a card.
Oh. Cool, I got the 4 of hearts.
Okay. So, alright, you got the card.
Hey. So guys, we did it. 1 million subscribers.
Yes, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have you hold your hands out like this, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold it closer to the mic.
Closer to
The mic.
Oh, that sounded great. I'm not even hearing it on the microphone.
Okay, guys.
Look at the audio for that.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Turn the gain up. Okay, guys, and now, Travis, tell me when to stop.
Okay, stop.
You, sir?
Yeah.
You remember your card, sir?
Yeah.
You, sir?
Yeah.
Did we find a card?
No, that's not my card. That's the queen of... I had the 4 of hearts. That's the queen of spades. You suck at card tricks, Brayden.
Gosh darn
What
it.
the heck?
We need...
You ruined it! Oh my gosh, you broke the fan.
No.
It's not functioning properly anymore.
You know what else isn't functioning properly?
Your grandma?
Yes. Took her off life support.
Sorry, old man. I need an internet connection.
I need to play my Fortnite.
No, my phone's dying, but I'm almost number 1 in Fortnite. Sorry, Grandpa, it's for the greater good. Mr. Obama, get down.
Mr. Obama, get down.
Mr. Obama.
Oh, speaking of which, this is still kid friendly, by the way. But our friend here, Brayden, has told us that if we make it to 1 hour on the podcast, he's going to officially give us the N-word pass. Yes.
He's going to present us.
He's going to present us with the honorary
unlimited
permanent
N-word
pass. So
approved by Barack Obama.
Yes, the
Barack Obama,
former president of the United States, Barack Obamas, and
You can't do that.
you can't say the N-word. That's racist.
You can't say it.
No.
Whoa, no, that's actually dangerous.
That's not the right place.
No, wait, it is the right place. What are you guys talking about?
Okay, now he's putting the knife down his pants.
I think we might have a woman.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Hypothetically. Kid-friendly. Kids, don't do this at home.
Hypothetically transgender, yeah.
Yeah,
All
Let's
right.
talk about
Libtards.
be
Are you
calm.
are you a libtard?
Honestly, I don't really know politics that well.
I wasn't asking a serious question, you dingo.
You are a dingus.
You bell ringer.
You
Braden,
deformed water bottle. Loser! Cry baby!
Shut up!
He said shut up!
I can't say shut. Be nice, guys. Sorry.
God.
Shut up, please. Hey, Braden, are you a libtard?
Am I what?
Are you a libtard?
What is that?
Are you ripping stuff out of my? Don't touch my. I have important lyrics in that journal.
Are they private?
They're not private, but.
So I thought.
Well, that doesn't matter. I don't want you destroying. That makes no difference. Stop.
Wait, actually stop.
Discontinue thy current behavior.
Wait, are they blank papers though?
I swear. And oh my gosh. I swear, I'm gonna look down there and I'm gonna find a bunch of songs just ruined. Why are you going upstairs?
Come back here, child.
Return to us, sweetie. What?
Oh.
Why did I say that?
Ooh.
Ooh. So now's the part of the podcast where. This is the part of the podcast where Jason and I have a serious political conversation where I teach him about the mechanisms of politics.
Orange man bad.
Yeah, Orange Man bad.
Orange man
The
bad.
only thing you ever need to know about politics. Orange man bad, black man good.
Yes. So would the ideal government be perfectly balanced?
Not necessarily. Well, because it's a frame of reference. There's no perfect middle, you know? Because it's all a matter of perspective. Everything is relative.
Don't worry about what I'm doing, sir.
Put the gun down. Sir, put the gun down.
Put the gun down.
Sir, I'm gonna. He's running. He's running.
shot.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Good shots.
The podcast. Sir.
Okay. From now on, no more clapping, or else we don't get our in-room passes.
Yeah.
No.
What are we, a suicide squad? Oh, shoot. No.
What?
Nothing.
Oh yeah.
Just the promise I made was kind of broken. That wasn't real clap. Not real claps. All right.
Yeah, no clapping, Travis.
I'm sorry.
That was clap your cheeks.
That was a hypothetical clap.
Your chin cheek.
No, those claps for legal reasons. Those claps are hypothetical.
They didn't happen. They were edited in.
It's all for academic purposes.
Yes.
None of this is real.
I don't get it.
I gotta be honest. I stopped paying attention.
Yeah, you loser.
No,
I'm gonna grab my whip.
I'm gonna watch me. Watch me whip.
Now watch me whip.
You know, honestly, I think I've figured out how to solve overpopulation. We just gotta whip on all those babies.
Alright.
Just whip the baby.
We gotta whip them. We're gonna hit them with a
Get
little
them
bit
working
of
in. Get them working at the Purdue sweatshop.
Hit them with a little bit of whip and nay, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna dab on them if you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna dab on them babies.
Yeet. Yeah, just it's
Wait, what if like anti-vaxxers were like made? Well, not made, but like
they're solving overpopulation.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we figured it out.
The government
Just
is making anti-vaxxers to solve overpopulation.
Yeah, guys, here's how we're gonna live on this planet longer. Don't vaccinate your children, okay? You're making the world more autistic.
But we've already been vaccinated. What are you talking about?
Well, then you should.
It would kill us if we don't be vaccinated.
Okay, next time the doctor
Give us some
is about to put the needle in your arm, just yeet. just give them the shot instead.
Actually,
and then run out of the
That's
hospital.
what happened to one of my doctors before. I think they said that they went to go stick this one kid, and she actually ended up sticking herself because the kid was moving like so much, and ended up she accidentally like
dropped herself.
Oh, like it put the needle in her own arm.
Did she
she was trying to hold him down, and I don't know where she stabbed herself.
Ooh.
And,
That's
that would
squeezed it.
That would
she put it in.
Oh, that would contaminate it, and they'll have to draw away.
Yeah, that'd be
pretty.
Ooh.
That's a big F right there.
Can we get an F in the chat
for the epic gamers?
Epic gaming moments.
Epic gaming time, boys.
It's time for us to game.
The Dobre brothers just uploaded a new video.
Now this.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
I've never seen. I don't even know who those YouTubers are. But oh my gosh!
Who are your guys' favorite YouTubers?
I mean, honestly, I don't really watch YouTube that much anymore. But like,
You're a normie.
well,
Boy.
you're a homosexual,
Okay, that's not true.
and homosexuals are homosexual.
Well, okay, that is true, but the first part isn't. So, who are your favorite YouTubers?
Dr. Vortex, sponsored. TM.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, honestly, I've been watching more of PewDiePie and like just
Oh yeah.
gaming videos.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six.
That reminded me of she wanted me to sponsor her YouTube channel or something.
Sponsored by Travis. How are you going to sponsor?
No, that's actually she wanted to say that like she wanted to do a video as a joke where she said sponsored by Dr. Oh no, she wanted me to do a joke saying I was sponsored by her in my videos.
Bruh.
Like she honestly, like I don't understand why not, but she just doesn't get boundaries. Like it's like you don't go up to someone else and say, "Hey, I want you to do this in your YouTube channel," and just because you're friends with them.
It's like
that's just kind of like.
Like, did you wait? So like you said no, and she was like,
I was like no.
And then what? Did she just?
Well, she's like, why not? I'm like, because I don't want to. And she's like, yeah, but why? It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You should just retaliate with, well, what? Why?
Well, why would I? And she's like, because it would be funny. I'm like, no, it wouldn't.
I don't think it would be funny.
All right.
Oh, he's using Audacity.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Audacity. All right. Welcome
You
back.
have the audacity.
To use Audacity. I do.
So this is audio only?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, because there's if there was.
So you're one of them gays, aren't you?
Whoa, hey! First of all, if we want people to take us seriously while we whine and complain about school for an hour, I don't think we should open up with such a homophobic statement.
I think we should talk about how James Charles is kind of cute.
Not gonna lie.
Not gonna lie.
Swipe right.
He has his times.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Swipe up.
Swipe up to see full story. All right.
Okay.
So I think we should get to complaining about school. That is why I invited all of you here. So should we all?
I don't think you say complain. Say
it's cold.
Criticize.
It's
We're
cold.
Going to have a
basement.
Whoa! Shut up.
Shut up.
You're wearing actual shorts. Of course it's cold. All right. So
His
I
toes
think.
are out.
Oh wow! He just unleashed his sausage thighs.
Let's continue.
All right, so I think we should all introduce who we are and our general relationship with school, like in terms of how seriously we take it. My name is Colson. I take school extremely seriously. No one takes it more seriously than I do.
My name is Marshawn, and I'm gay.
I don't even... That's not fair. I don't think you can say that. I think
fair.
Is that a personal attack or something?
No, it's not fair. I feel bad for Marshawn. He got jumped by upperclassmen for his sexuality, and that's not right.
That is not right. He seems like a lovely man.
The fastest 200 runner in the state is gay.
Oh, that's nice.
So
another win.
Epic victory royale, bro.
Yeah, John Riley is gay. He's our best sprinter.
Nice. All right. So, what things should we discuss about school first?
I think we should discuss the nature of how teachers encourage people to be gay.
Remember, guys, you can't spell gay without A. Wow.
That's correct.
Yes. That is,
You get an A.
I actually got a detention the other day for being too straight.
They sent me to realignment camp.
Yeah.
They sent me to a camp to bend me out of shape.
It was actually just a pot of really hot water.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they actually melted me.
Yeah. Reconstructed my... They neuroned my brain so I can like do...
into a piece of macaroni. So I wouldn't be straight.
They just loaded me with estrogen.
No, they loaded you with testosterone and then suddenly took it all away.
Oh gosh. So.
Alright, so I think so I should probably talk about this starting off. I kind of have a list of ideas for like a
how to torture gay people.
Now, what I think we should do is that I think we should actually get on to what the actual thing is. You're really being immature. I expected more from you, actually. So can we get on?
You can't come into English 10 with a bad attitude, Colton.
I'm sorry. You expected me to be gay, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
okay.
You better be comfortable.
Oh my god. Isaiah, sit down.
Pull something like that again.
Have a seat, young Skywalker.
Ambulance. Pull something like that again.
Oh my gosh. So I do kind of have a list of like the ideas and points that I personally have in mind when hitting on this. Just like I hit on boys because I'm gay.
Okay.
It's unavoidable.
Oh, it's getting played out now. We can.
All right, so yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
I actually did. God.
You did, Mr. Weimer.
Okay, I just had to cut out something because Colson thought saying the last name would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Like Allen's.
Whoa, hey, you can't.
Like Jones.
Whoa. Hold on. Okay, so I did send an email to the superintendent of the township we're in.
Wait, you did?
Yeah, at the start of 9th grade. To express my concerns about my homosexuality.
I think we should have a period dedicated in the days just so that we can just be gay. Like, I don't have enough.
Doesn't Rebuff have that?
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's called prayer.
It's called confession with the priest. No, they take you into a room, confess, and it's like,
oh, Father Jack.
Forgive me, Father, I have sinned.
You know, I did that one time. It was kind of weird.
I'm sorry, like, I'm gay.
It's like,
oh gosh.
Like, they take you back in the room. I told them, oh, I'm gay. And it's just like, oh, I'll show you what gay really is.
And then you
You haven't seen nothing yet.
I don't want to get into this.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, anyway,
So I did actually send an email to superintendent explaining like some of my concerns about like problems I have with the school system. I start out, I try to go in order of most objective to least objective because there are points which are, you can clearly hit on, that there's no denying or disproving or anything. Just because, like I'm gay.
Oh my god. Can we actually have a conversation?
Oh my gosh. But when 50 minutes go by, next class.
That wasn't very funny. Like, at all. I don't know why you would say that like it was funny.
Would it be funnier if I mentioned how I was gay?
I'd say that it's kind of overplayed, kind of dumb. I think that's very
like gay people.
Low Your humor is so low tier.
School has several problems, include.
I hate both.
I didn't even say anything. Travis, talk about your stinking points. Cut to the chase. What are your points? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your freaking points.
Oh, I'm crying.
Because you're gay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm crying and sweating and shaking.
Why don't we just have retainment camps for the babies?
Why don't we just have concentration camps?
That's gay babies. Time and time again, countries have tried that and it doesn't work. You know why?
It worked for Germany.
Because it's not ethical.
It did.
It's not ethical. You see what happened in Germany? It used to be a great empire, and guess what they are now? They're a tiny little country that no one cares about.
The world's 4th largest economy.
The Jew.
We can put an end to that at any moment, right?
Germany more like gaming.
Exactly. We could put so many sanctions on them for everything done.
You could just grab a hold of Germany and just.
Do you have pent up imperial desires? You just look at a world map and you're like, those lines need to go away. USA!
No, it's for Serbia.
We just clipped the
Serbia.
Serbia?
Serbia used to have giant kingdom.
Sokovia.
until the Ottomans came over.
Don't you mean
Till the
Wakanda?
German- I'm tired. Serbia.
Did you take world history this year?
The Serbians were right. They're completely right. They're what caused World War One, and guess what? They were right for it. 100% right for it.
What? Because
they were taking back all the land that Austria-Hungary took.
No, they were just
from the
angry that
Ottomans.
some guy shot their country dad.
No, that's not.
Sir, if you speak that way again, you're gonna
Oh,
come
no.
with an
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Okay, anyway, school! Yeah! I think this is a side effect of modern schooling right here.
Yeah, definitely. Let's just move past that little imperial rant by Isaiah.
Okay, anyway, I think that's enough about sleep. We don't get enough of it, and we need to, and there are excuses for it, but they're all nonsensical, so yeah.
And they're dumb. They definitely don't outweigh the health.
That's why I just said they're nonsensical, you stupid idiot. Okay, anyway.
You're acting like a teacher right now.
He literally used a big word. You don't have to.
Yeah. Travis, I used a word that means 10 times the words that you use.
Soliloquy.
Exactly.
Soliloquy? That word has no context in the matters that we...
No.
Yes, I have a unanimous vote to conquer Serbia.
Preposterous.
What the...
Okay, anyway. So we just
Stop punching the air, bro.
We took standardized testing last week. Did you take standardized testing last week?
I learned.
They
made us download something on our computers.
Oh my gosh.
Probably
I
gonna make that
learned.
later.
Standardized tests. They don't work.
Yeah.
The person who
It has
invented.
no purpose.
Well, no, I think it does have a purpose because it's like they want to make sure that
The
everyone's
purpose is to
learning
make
stuff,
money.
but- Well, yeah, that's the ultimate goal. But like, we need a standardized way of measuring.
Actually, no, it's not the ultimate goal. It's the short-term, middle-term, and long-term goal. Making money.
It's the
Which is
entire
the ultimate
term.
goal.
No, it's all the goals.
Which is the ultimate goal.
No.
No.
It's
holistically speaking the ultimate goal.
Holistically speaking?
Yeah.
Did you really just
Holistically
use
speaking?
holistic? 2019 conversation.
Holistically speaking.
Go back to the 1800s, Travis.
There's been a correlating increase in like rates of
gay people.
Of
suicide?
Well, actually, yeah, probably. But yeah, suicide and depression and anxiety and like just serious mental health problems in children.
I was right.
He did predict it. He was right. So anyway, basically, you might be like, oh, that's just a correlation, right? But the thing
It is literally a correlation.
It literally is.
But
That is a definition of a correlation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
A dictionary definition.
But I'm saying I have an
explanation.
I have an explanation for why it's also a cause as well because
That's what correlation means.
No,
correlation is
Did
not
you just-
causation.
Excuse me, sir. Did you just say correlation is not causation? I mean, correlation is equals causation.
Yes.
No. If I start spending more time thinking about cats and my weight starts increasing, does that mean that thinking about cats causes obesity?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think it does.
Let's just get this libtard out of here.
But then,
If
once we die, right?
If life's
we
just a
get
Lego
the
game.
option for the free play mode, and if we can have access to the free play mode way faster, then I think that people would stop killing themselves.
Oh my gosh.
I'd say that's my input.
I think real life should be more like GTA.
It is.
It is a sandbox game. You have ultimate control over your destiny. You can do whatever you want.
It's just
Like what, being gay?
It's just like how.
Yeah, I actually chose to be gay the other day so I would get an A in school.
So, if I went to liberate Serbia.
From who?
From Serbia.
Albania?
From the entire Europe.
Oh yeah, European Union passed Article 13 and enslaved Serbians.
I think that
Yes?
modern schoolers don't put any effort into making school actually enjoyable.
That's your biggest gripe?
Yes.
I suppose that's important because without it being like, how are you supposed to learn if you're not enjoying learning?
Yeah.
That's like how they expect. One of my biggest gripes is how they expect kids to be responsible without training kids to be responsible.
I think
we're kids. We can't take responsibility. Like no one can be able to take responsibility until they're forced in that situation. You know.
See, like with that, like elementary school was way easier because we actually love learning. We had a craving for learning. We
Yeah,
just
and like
died.
the teachers like
died.
Yeah, like the teachers like would actually like reading was fun, you know, because it was all about the actual experience of like education and like in like the world and like
It's
life.
time for an LEQ, guys. I'm gonna lock this away.
What? No, my phone.
You
Colson.
don't need it.
Colson, my phone. No. No! Not my Switch! Colson, that doesn't go in there! Colson, no!
Use your phone, Travis.
He just handed me my Switch.
Okay. So get on with your biggest gripe.
Okay, could you put that back though?
No.
I got it.
Oh, thank you, Isaiah. You're a really good friend. Alright, so, biggest gripe with school, I think, is that it's just all a culture of conformity.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. It's all about, like, literally, like...
So profound.
Shut up.
Haven't heard that one before.
Did you guys read Things Fall Apart?
No.
Oh, it's about Africa.
Oh my gosh.
It's about Nigeria.
That book's hilarious, because it's written like the Bible.
Oh, you want to know the funniest thing ever? You want to know the funniest thing ever?
It's like, it'll be like, Okonkwo went to this place, and he did this, and he talked with his good friend this. There, he said, Okonkwo, I don't think you have the right idea about this. I think the way that you should be doing is that, I swear, there's not one contraction in that entire book.
Travis. Travis.
What, Colson?
The funniest part of that book is when they, this is direct quote. They, when they come upon Okonkwo's dead body, it says, they walked around the back of the house and saw him hanging there, and they stopped dead.
They what?
They stopped dead.
They stopped dead. Oh, what a great
Just
rock
like
writer.
Logan Paul stopped dead in Japan.
That was before feudal.
Going from
Yup.
That was before feudal Japan. So what's great about school is that the grading system doesn't really. It doesn't show how much you learn.
Oh, of course not.
Travis just nuts.
Alright, so grading
Hey,
system.
hey. Before you continue.
Oh my gosh.
Give me a second. I have a lot of memes on my phone, so give me a second.
Okay.
Porn.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, because basically you can just stay between a 70 and a 95 in any given class, and it's not that difficult, you know?
There's Thanos. Bring me.
Oh, he's trying to find the naked Thanos picture.
Bring me Thanos.
No, I have that on deck.
Thanos gaming.
I went for the head.
Oh, crap.
Target's on brings.
What? Bro, what?
This is what just happened to you.
It's exactly.
The grading system doesn't work. Yes!
Ah!
Magnificent!
I am inevitable!
Marvel did not do anything to deserve those powers, alright? Captain Marvel did not do anything to deserve to go into an entire ship, alright?
I'm recording this.
Guess what? Alright, Captain Marvel's a great character and all, but she hasn't been an established character enough to
Brie
do
Larson is flat.
Okay, but
Is
Captain
that a
Marvel
personal attack or something?
Captain
Yes.
Marvel should not be able to take a headbutt from Thanos and not flinch whatsoever. All right. First of all, because the character's not established. See, if it was Thor, I would have gone wild. Right?
Yes.
I would have gone. Yeah. I would have gone like that. But yes, what?
Magnificent.
They try to push Captain Marvel too far because they haven't built an emotional bond with Captain Marvel and the audience yet. And guess what? They're pushing it too far. My opinion.
Just like the school's pushing the gay agenda.
Exactly. Too far.
It's libtards, Isaiah.
It's real libtard hour.
But they should have introduced Captain Marvel earlier, in my opinion.
Kevin Feige is a libtard.
Whoa, hold on.
Kevin Spacey?
No.
If you want to talk about people who are gay. Why does everyone hate me? Being gay is okay. No, listen, it's because you...
No, being gay is not okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's fine until you touch kids.
Being gay is a sin.
Can I have my words? Thank you. All right.
Can you have some self-control?
We don't have good coping mechanisms. We haven't learned good coping mechanisms.
Just like
and the people that are hired to help us with that They're not counselors. They're not getting their jobs.
Yes.
Let's be honest here. Counselors don't have jobs.
Exactly. They sit there and it's like, oh, that's fine. Oh, you're depressed? I'll have to tell your parents.
Oh, you have breast cancer? I don't care.
It's because
hope you will.
Get well soon. Oh wait, no, I didn't say that because I'm a counselor.
Yeah.
And I have.
Oh my gosh. They're literally only there. They're paid to make you follow the rules. That's it. That's why I got a legit therapist, because a therapist actually is gonna like want to help you be better equipped to deal with life. A counselor is just there to make you follow the rules. You gotta do what your parents tell you. They're telling me to actually kill my brother. You gotta do it. They have control over you until you're 18. They're telling me, or it's like
exactly. They tell you
they're not vaccinating me.
They tell you can do whatever you want once you hit 18. But now I can't help you with anything. It's your job.
Then what's your job?
When we don't know how to cope with things, all right. This is what gets into teen drug use, and guess what? Teen drug use is bad.
I do drugs every day.
You heard it here first, folks. School causes teen drug use.
It really does.
Yeah, no,
it really like.
No, that's why I think electronics, like the fact that kids nowadays are so addicted to stuff like that.
Nicotine.
Not really addicted. it's because like.
What you doing on your phone there, Jimmy? Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. It was just a blunt.
Carry on.
It's a USB.
It's just a weird shaped USB.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Isn't that like a whole thing, Everbuff?
A whole thing. It's a movement.
It's a social phenomenon.
How many times do you Juul a day? Isaiah just pulls out a Juul and is like, right now!
You know how many hours it's been since I last hit my Juul, bro?
I took driver's ed at this really white high school, and on one of their classroom doors, it literally, like, the letter, they cut out paper letters that it originally said "Jewels are for fools," but then the S's came out somehow, so it just said "Jewel are for fools."
Like, at my school, there's, like, a lot of anti-vaping posters everywhere. It says, well, contrary to popular belief, vaping is really bad for you. It can cause mouth cancer. And you don't want mouth cancer because it looks like herpes.
It's like you have a constant yeast infection in your mouth.
Exactly. Wow. It's disgusting.
Remember that time in the Bible when this king asked this guy to get 400 foreskins?
I'm starting a collection. It's not weird.
No, it's for his daughter's hand in marriage.
Oh my gosh.
And he makes a foreskin jacket.
Oh my god.
Oh, that would be great.
Ew. Like, they're
cool.
Finger warmers. They're just
because, like, I think that's really a fashion statement when you think about it. It's like
wearing foreskin.
It's because like it's like a collage, right? It's all different people, all different cultures, and it's just.
Let's be honest.
That's all one, but all one type of smell. Like, imagine being a teacher, just be like, you know what? I actually don't care about your success.
Imagine being a teacher and thinking that your subject is the most important subject, but you teach BCC.
This is what's really going to help you. My 4-year plan from high school has already been screwed up beyond repair. Like, I kid you, just because of the decision, oh, you have to take an extra year of science, and now one of the languages is being taken away, so you gotta do more of that stuff. Come on!
So what do you want to do with your life? Oh, I want to be a business owner. Okay, then you should take AP Physics B.
B? It's just called 2.
No, it's
Idiot.
not. It's not called 2, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
It's AP Physics A, B, and C. Stupid.
Sorry. Stop yelling at me.
Oh, so what do you want to do with your life? I want to be a musician. Shut up and take calculus.
Yeah, honestly though, that's how I feel. So my thing is like, it's easy to see that teachers care. They obviously care. Teachers legitimately care. The problem is not.
I would not say that about all teachers.
Not all teachers, but that's the legitimate problem. Is not that teachers don't care. Shut up.
I'm leaving.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Isaiah. Your shoulder just like cut my neck open.
Oh.
Okay, so we gotta say farewell to Isaiah.
Oh.
And as to you, old friend.
Oh, wasn't even 6 yet.
Oh. Isaiah's such a great person. So anyway.
I hate black people.
through
It really
school.
irks me that most teachers just reuse and recycle lesson plans over and over and over again.
It's like they give us the reading guide, and then they're surprised when we cheat on it with Quizlet. It's like, come up with your own questions.
Yeah, like, oh, when are these questions from? Oh, 20 years ago. Oh, what do we know about education 20 years ago? Oh. Do your silent reading.
We don't do silent reading anymore.
I do silent reading.
What?
I do silent reading.
Yeah, anyways.
To myself because I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I'm stressed. I'm so overly pressed.
Oh my god. So, that's what I was saying.
Did Isaiah come off as strikingly insane to you?
Well, he's brilliant.
No, like...
Don't confuse that. No, that's his extreme intelligence. You wouldn't understand it because you're a libtard. Oh, that's funny, because the English teacher I had last semester didn't know what an idiom or hyperbole was.
That's what I was trying.
Yeah, she said they were the same thing, but a hyperbole had humor.
That's the stupidest thing.
That is one of the most, as an English teacher, that's one of the most ignorant things you can say.
That's the stupidest thing I've heard since persuasive and argumentative essay are the same thing.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. We just, like, I had two just awful English teachers in a row who were completely incompetent.
Making a class...
Words, man.
do annotations and do questions and etc. actually makes them take in less about the book because they are less inclined to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's another big problem with school is nowadays it's so focused on taking notes and having the information always with you as a resource rather than memorizing it. We're not teaching skills anymore. We're just regurgitating information, right? Like school, like people who went through school 40 years ago or longer are able to do mental math like really quickly and are able to have just these random like facts just memorized.
You know, I feel like a better way to like sort of quote unquote test or evaluate your students about like what they've read or like make them get a better understanding of what they're reading, like what they say that these questions and annotations do would be like after every reading just have like a discussion about it and like listen to them and listen what they're talking about.
Well,
and
we
like
are supposed to have Socratic seminars, which I'm excited for. I love Socratic seminars, but the major downside is they often end up being one-sided conversations. But English class always seems to make it so one-sided, and so this is what the author's saying. He's not saying anything else.
Oh, I hate that so much. I hate that like okay, how do you interpret the author's words? How is there one meaning? How is there one answer to that?
Exactly, because that's the difference between
like, what
art.
The heck?
That's the difference between art and propaganda. Art, the meaning can be extrapolated in several different ways.
That's the whole point.
That's why it's a reflection of truth.
That's the whole point.
It's not telling you what to believe. It's not saying the world is good or the world is bad. It's just saying the world is, and it's letting it pan out.
The
in
whole
a fair
point
and
is
honest
that
way.
you get what you need out of it, and like
Yeah.
you get what you understand.
Yeah, whereas propaganda does the thinking for you, much like English teachers.
I swear, it's so like basically all of school is teachers giving you something, telling you to comprehend it, and them talking
telling
and then
you how to comprehend
and
it.
then them talking to you until you comprehend it the way that they want you to.
Exactly, like that's
so
that's what I absolutely
idiotic
hated about the English teacher I had last year. That's what I absolutely did not like about her was just she'd be like literally like we were reading the short story Scarlet Ibis and for those of you who don't know, it's basically about like it's this older brother who has a younger brother who is born wrong and he's all weak and stuff and all like genetically deficient.
He's gay.
Yeah, he's really gay. He's extremely homosexual. And
sex with a bird.
He's trying to train up his little brother to be strong and stuff, and it's all told from the point of view of the older brother. But when asked who the protagonist was, she's like, "Oh, it's the little brother. It's Doodle. Yeah." And like even
that was
though it
dumb.
absolutely wasn't,
because like the character growth was like the most significant character growth was found within the older brother.
Yeah, and he's the one who literally makes the decision that leads to the climax. If your protagonist dies at the climax, they clearly can't be the protagonist.
The little brother was the mechanism by which the older brother grew.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly because the older brother was the one who wanted something and was pursuing it. The little brother was just there. The little brother was what made you couldn't have the story without either of them. But the little brother was. And
if anything, Doodle was the well. Actually, no.
Technically, you could say Doodle was an antagonist, but
technically, the older brother was a pro and an antagonist.
Yeah, because you could frame it that way, but I would say the most significantly like accurate way to look at it is that the older brother was the protagonist.
I think the two greatest conflicts in that novel were man versus self and man versus nature.
Yeah, I would say that's true because the nature of how Doodle is.
Yeah. Yes. The nature of which his ring finger being shorter than his pointer finger making him gay.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, you can just twist that by like moving your fingers over.
You can be like this. You can be actually.
Oh man, my ring finger is longer than my middle finger. Oh wow, I'm super straight.
No, like your ring finger is taller than your index finger. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, like, you couldn't twist it.
That was kind of a really dumb theory, and I don't think that assumption has any ground at all.
What, the finger theory?
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
What it's more accurately a reflection of is the amount of testosterone versus estrogen.
Which doesn't necessarily define
sexuality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the things that really bothers me about teachers is how they're always, whenever students are talking, it's like, you guys are being disrespectful. It's not disrespect. It's just we don't care. That's literally it.
Which is technically disrespectful, but I mean, if you would be a good teacher, then...
See, like, I don't know. Well, see, like, when it comes to respect, my view is there's common decency, which is just simply being willing to listen to people.
There's respecting someone, and then there's a libtard.
Yeah. But, like, respect, like, that's literally why we have the phrase, like, command respect. It's something you have to command. You have to be confident, and you have to control... like yourself and the way that you move through the world. That's what it's all about. And like that's like respect is an innate like
I feel like
impulsive feeling.
There are many different kinds, like there are many different levels of respect.
Of genders? It's a spectrum.
Yeah, it's a spectrum, and you're either gay or not. Like it's like there's the level of respect, like common decency, like not just calling someone like, you know, an idiot on the side of the street, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then there's respect as to where you admire or like what someone's done or something like that. And then there's respect when you value someone as like, you know, competent, I suppose.
Yes. I would say, and that's the thing about, like, when they say we're disrespecting them, that relies on the assumption that we're supposed to listen to what they have to say in the first place,
and
which
like,
isn't necessarily true.
Yeah, and
what
like
if they're an idiot?
There's this whole thing with, like, you know, being egotistical or arrogant or whatever, and, like, thinking that you're better than people. But I feel like, respect, like, I don't know how to say this, like, so, like, you know, people are, like, treat everyone that you meet like yourself or whatever, but I feel like to get to that level it's like earning respect.
Well, here's what I'd say. I would say it is like we all have the responsibility to be kind and to try to do our best to be decent to people.
Yeah, but like, okay, I think I have a better way to say it. It's like the inherent valuing of someone else as equal to valuing yourself. I feel like this notion of pressing people to like value everybody or whatever,
it doesn't work.
It's just not realistic. And like when you value someone else as you value yourself is when they've earned your respect.
Well, see, that also depends on how you view yourself, because you're much more of like a self-above tribe kind of person where you're more confident in what you have to say. But if you like,
if I were in charge, everything would be okay.
Yeah. If I was the person who led the communist revolution in Russia, it would have worked out.
Exactly. Like,
you know,
you see, communism is a perfect system. You see, we just need to try it again because I would be the one to be able to do it.
That wasn't real communism.
That wasn't real communism. Communism is totally attainable. I mean, look at Venezuela. They're doing great.
I know, right? Their economies in TikTok.
They're so free because there isn't a country.
Yeah, so, like, what I was saying about respect is, like, some people are very much, they put, like, others before themselves to a detrimental degree where they don't take care of themselves, you know? And, like, so I would say it's important to try to come up with a balance where you treat everyone with the same respect you treat yourself. You treat yourself with the same respect you treat it. Can you focus?
I am focused.
Sir?
Ma'am?
Oh, yeah, they moved a lot of the majority of the good teachers away from the middle school. And then after that, they decided, you know what would be a good idea? Let's ban headbands and bandanas. Why not? Kids can definitely sneak in drugs in their headbands.
even though we already have backpacks to do that in?
No hoods, because it'll make you sneak drugs in. No backpacks.
We need to be able to identify your face at any moment among the literally 500 other faces at the school.
You can't carry your backpack around in halls and classrooms because you'll have drugs in.
You'll
Trapper Keeper is perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, no one can fit a bomb in that.
Okay, that was honestly the stupidest thing ever that they wouldn't let us use backpacks.
Oh my god.
Like, that was honestly the most idiotic thing in the world.
Yeah, like, and then the other thing was the principal, in the middle of lunch one day, because he was angry that we were misbehaving, decided to try to sort of intimidate us into submitting. He said a bad word. He said the D word. And all that didn't do anything besides set a precedent for it's okay to say those words around these adults now, because
honestly, I mean, I feel like our principal's heart was in the right place, but like the way to make your students behave is not to rally them in the auditorium, stand before them, talk to them an hour, curse for no real reason, threaten expulsion.
Oh my gosh!
Now you notice that
some of your former friends are
some of your former classmates are no longer sitting next to you. You see, I'm black, so
he just sheds his skin. Remember the comic Nick made where he just gets on his, like, he just gets into the crab pose. You kids need to learn respect. Oh wow, no one took him seriously in 8th grade. That was, oh wow, like seriously. If you want to lose the respect of middle school kids, rant at them about how they need to be more responsible for an hour. That'll just. And like, remember this.
Oh, don't you dare teach any of your students actual responsibility. Don't you dare actually teach them real life skills. Don't you dare hire actually competent teachers.
Gotta teach the content bell to bell.
Don't you dare stray even an inch from the 30-year-old curriculum.
Well, no, the 30-year-old, but it's new and updated and improved. We have all these new classes and all these new innovative ways to teach.
You see, it's innovative because we say drugs are bad now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It looks like the eye of Sauron on the audio screen.
Show me.
Oh shoot, hold on. You missed it, bro.
You see, this is why you're. Oh gosh.
Oh wow.
That's hot.
Yeah. No, but like that's seriously hilarious. It's like they just lost our respect that year, and because of that, the thing I was getting around to Isaiah saying was the Spanish teacher. And he just told me this when he came over today. But Spanish teacher was he was like, Isaiah, have you been skipping my class? And he's like, yeah. we could seriously get away with doing anything. We wouldn't get in trouble. Like that. Oh my gosh. Like, literally, at the last 5 weeks of school, we spent practically half of that time just playing Survivio on the laptops.
Yeah, honestly, though.
See, like, that's the thing about English.
We didn't read a single book in 8th grade English.
Not a one.
We
were about to start 1984, and then she just bailed.
Oh, class, I heard that you weren't enjoying the book. Let's just not.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah.
Oh, class, you know this book? I heard that you didn't like it, so let's just not. Oh, hey, class, I heard that someone stayed up till 4 a.m. working on this one-page homework assignment. Oh, let's never give you homework ever again.
I'm sorry I accidentally threw away all your assignments and gave you all zeros in Skyward. That's my bad.
Oh, hey, class. What's actually dictating my own classroom? I only know how to listen to my students.
It's not like I can actually think for myself or anything. I just live to make other people happy.
Authority? What's that? This is communism.
Since you guys haven't tried to shoot me in the face for a whole week now, I made you some brownies.
You guys are so great, never doing your homework and always talking. Here, have some brownies.
They're definitely not laced with
marijuana.
Cyanide acid.
She was so stupid. She literally she got married when she was 19 and graduated college when she was like 34.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. See, and the thing is, it's like you can see, like everyone around her knows exactly the personality imbalance in her that's causing her to do this. It's because she keeps martyring herself for other people, but she won't. She just won't learn.
And she was also, okay, I know, like, so, like, reverse racism, but, like the way that people use it to, like, mean, like, my PCC teacher, I know you don't have this teacher, but she said that when she was 30, her husband and her decided that it was a great idea, a great economic decision for her to go back to college and become a teacher because it would be economically beneficial for their family.
That is laughable.
I know.
You know what would make us
One, because you
rich?
don't have to go to college to be a teacher, because teachers are completely unqualified. And two, why
That's
would...
not true. They still make sure you have your degree.
That was a joke, Travis. Stupid. And other, why, if you want to be... Why teach... What?
Yeah, why not, get a job in something that, makes money?
Oh, and she's so dumb. Like, she's like, whenever you ever get a certificate, you should always keep it. You see these Microsoft Office specialist certificates I have? I keep them because it shows that I have so much value.
No, it doesn't. Value is in skills, not awards.
I know. And
value has to be proven,
Something that also makes me upset is, like, I remember this one sub in, like, 7th or 8th grade. I don't remember. She was like, it was just like, she was like, oh, this is such a great class. It's so diverse. And I'm like, why does that mean anything? Like, why does you just being able to glance at the classroom and see that there are different skin colors make it a good class?
Well, that's another thing that we were talking about with this culture of conformity, is like these expectations of equality. All of them are centered around either equality or success, which is kind of ironic because the big expectation is like you're going to be successful, and what does that mean? You're going to be unequal to everyone else, right? But no, we got to be all about the equality. And like it's like I obviously believe in equality of opportunity. I think anyone who is not stupid believes in equality of opportunity, and I don't believe that any race of people or any categorization of that nature of inherent
it's
characteristic.
So dumb. Like, it's so dumb. Like, the only kind of diversity that even matters is diversity of ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what our band teacher said. Where he's talking about like, it's like now like because one of the songs we were doing for the spring concert, a lot of the people were okay with it, but a lot of people also didn't like it. And he was talking about, he said diversity is more than skin color. There's diversity of opinions, and you have to be aware of that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he was honestly a great person. Like he was a teacher who knew how to gain respect by like yelling at the kids and kind of getting red in the face and getting really mad. But he was still a great teacher.
I swear, it's so stupid.
It's just so much asinine stuff in school. It's so much pointless.
So dumb.
Like, if we got to choose what to learn, I guarantee you, people would be more successful. Things would, like, we would streamline, our economy and, like, our what's the expression I'm looking for? Like, the words. Like the jobs we have, like, job market and stuff.
Yeah, like, okay. I remember, like, you know how Miss I didn't say it. Okay,
Miss Williams.
Yes, Miss Williams. Obviously, that's her name. So you know how in her class, I don't know if you've seen this, but on the board there's this newspaper article. It's like a newspaper article clip, and it's like Pike finds strength in its diversity.
I think I might have seen that.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, yeah, that that 70-10-10 is a really diverse ratio.
No, that's the thing. Is like, is it really 70% black?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
I feel like overall there are a lot of things wrong with school, and there just aren't enough people willing to fix it. Because like people like you and I will talk about these problems, and it's like, okay, why don't you go out and fix it? And the main reason is because I want to do another thing.
Well, it's also, we're just kids, and we have, like, people have to focus so much on taking care of themselves that it's like we can hardly, it takes like a rare person to be able to take care of themselves and then go out and move the world.
And like there are all these problems, and then like we can complain about awful teachers, and it's just like, why don't you go become a teacher? And it's because it's like, well, I want to do something else, and like how many people actually want to become teachers? And it's not a lot, and that's a lot of the problem. And because, yeah.
I think either way. Well, I don't know. I think because like when I think about like people who like quote unquote move the world or whatever, I'm thinking about like people with like big influences who just like kind of pop out, like like Jesus and Martin Luther King Jr. and Gandhi and Hitler. People who come out and they're able to gain power and move the world in a certain direction.
Did you say Hitler?
Yeah, I mean he did.
Stalin.
He was evil, but well, I can't really say
Stalin.
He did evil things, but
Caesar and
Alexander the Great
and Kublai Khan and Genghis Khan.
I think.
Oh shoot, I'm saying last names, aren't I?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Big no.
See, I think
John Green.
John Green. Clearly the most significant human in all of existence.
Yes.
I think what's going to happen in order to make the changes that we might need to make is either a person will have to pop out like that to give a push to the system, or it's going to end up collapsing because that's where it's inevitably headed unless a serious change
And
happens.
like if you look at like these high skill education jobs that we're like the US like primary education system is failing to prepare us for, like it's all outsourced now. It's all people from Asia.
Yeah, and well the other thing is like we're starting to automate a lot more, so obviously we're going to lose jobs. And that's like a weird debate because there's no one who can pretend to know what's going to happen with that.
Yeah.
But what we do know is like the people with like the lowest IQ in society, like people with IQ under what is it like 83, there's no jobs for them. There's literally and so they can't have jobs.
And so they just do drugs and shoot people.
Wow.
Which is true.
Not all of them, but I would say that is
no,
like
100% of them, Travis.
Literally 100% of people with IQ under. Like literally, when your IQ gets that low, out of necessity, you are not allowed to enter the military.
A gun and a blunt just form in your hand. They just materialize.
Low IQ, yeah. If your IQ goes low enough, believe it or not, it's just a gun and a blunt materializes in your hand. And if your IQ actually hits 420, the same thing happens. It goes full circle.
That's what happened to Elon Musk.
What a genius.
What an absolute mad lad. There just aren't enough mad lads.
Honestly, though?
Gotta
agree. Like, because, like, there is stuff we could do to help solve the problem, but it's, like, the question is, like, how would we go about that? Like, I think it begins with trying to have a conversation. But in the end, it's going to take, like, a movement, And in the end, it's, like, the same issue that we've been having throughout, like, all of, like, established society.
You want to go on a movement?
I'd love to start a movement, but how?